Hey everybody, welcome to Wither and Bloom Studios. We are here for Rising, our second session, and are we ready to play tonight?
Yes.
I am super excited to do this, I have to tell you, and I'm going to make a couple of little changes here. Okay, so I have some announcements, first of all, right off the bat to sort of give to everybody, some things that I kind of want to throw out there. First of all, we are down Olivia tonight, so Olivia, I hope you're at home watching and that you can kind of see what's going on. Two, and I hope you feel better.
Yeah, feel better.
Two, we are going to move the show time just a bit for the next session. So right now we are on the first Tuesday of the month. For the third Tuesday of the month and all subsequent sessions, we're going to be starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because we want to play more, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So mark that on your calendars. I'm going to go through. I have not changed the pre-scheduled streams yet. So if you're looking at those on YouTube, I do have to go in and change the times on those. So stay tuned. I will get to that as soon as I am able to. Let's see. What else do we have on the list? I want to talk to you tonight about how you can support the game. I don't mean just in terms of general donations. You can change the outcome of the game, as we did last week. So you will notice on your screen there are a couple of floating potion bottles. One of those floating potion bottles begins to fill if you participate in the super chat. You can do that by going down below to where the chat window is, and you can click on that little dollar sign. You can type in an amount, and then you can super chat. When that bottle fills, you will buy the party a healing potion. Now, once the healing potion goal has been met, we tier up into something much more exciting. So it gets better the more we do. You can also choose to tip the game, in which case you support me, which there's a rolled table that I get to change the outcomes of the game based on. So if you want, jump in there and do that and change the outcome of the game. Our last announcement is today is Nathan's birthday.
Thank you. You made it.
Special birthday.
You made it.
Can we sing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it. Bring us in.
3, 2, 1.
Where are you going?
Happy birthday to you.
God, we sound awesome.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nathan. Happy birthday to you.
It's gonna black out.
Save those for later, buddy.
Nathan, you're not allowed
Nathan's
to
got
drink
this
all that.
cake.
You might want to share
That
those.
says Nat 20, which we thought should have said Nate 20.
Nate 20.
With a +1 to charisma on the cake, so we're going to eat that. Nathan, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you. Can Nate have a birthday nat 20 to use at a given point in the session?
Oh, you mean like automatic Nat 20 whenever you want?
Or no, not whenever they want, but kind of like how like the divination wizards, like the portent thing, where at the start of a long rest they have like the two like predetermined rolls. What if there was something like that where like throughout the session Nate can use a birthday nat 20?
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. So
Oh,
he can basically choose when the Nat 20 comes in.
Or yeah, like if there's something that he wants to do and is like, I'm gonna spend my birthday nat 20 on this and then get the nat 20.
Okay. All right. So Nathan, you have been granted a birthday Nat 20. I'm going to give that to you in this coin. You can choose when you want to spend it. Yes, could you?
Yeah,
Birth 20.
Hit that with
20.
something.
And a birthday death save.
Oh,
Roll it
sweet.
now.
Yes.
You get a year, you roll a die.
Roll for initiative.
Yes. So one last thing I want to just put out there is that we will not really interact with the chat until the break tonight. So if you are chatting, chat amongst yourselves. We will occasionally look at that, but we really want to immerse ourselves in the game and kind of stay on top of that. So if that's okay with you. All right. Are we good otherwise?
I jive.
I think we do it.
Yeah.
All right. And also, one last thing. We're at 804 subscribers.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
2 weeks ago, we were at 713 on this very stream 2 weeks ago, so we've almost gotten 100 people in 2 weeks. So if you are out there, share the love.
Thank you.
Add to that number. We would love that.
We love you.
Here's to you all.
Yes, cheers.
Mazel tov.
Cheers.
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 Happy birthday, good.
Happy birth. Yeah.
Happy birth.
Happy birthday.
One of those fucking things. Come on, it's your birthday.
Yeah, get drunk.
Bro has to drive home later.
Yeah. Nick
No,
has to
I'm getting
drive.
picked
Now
up.
he's getting picked up.
You're getting picked up.
I'm getting picked up.
should-
my
Oh,
God.
crack one of them bitches then.
I gotta finish
Saison,
my
it's got
water.
like a little whiny.
I can do a trickle this time.
Oh.
Birthday
Nice.
trickle?
Birthday trickle.
Nice.
trickle.
Birthday
Excellent.
trickle.
All right, so
I love this episode.
should we start our game?
Let's play some D&D.
Let's do it. Let's play some D&D.
We got D&D to D&D.
I want that on a shirt.
Right.
Sweet.
Let me see that.
So
We
let's.
should make that into a shirt.
Definitely a shirt.
I think we should.
I want it.
Let's dig into a little recap, shall we?
Yes, please.
Excellent. The party had reconvened in session 1 in the town of Pills, where each of you were off doing your own respective thing. We saw Bran and Thrud together at Balls of Fire, actually apart but then together doing their thing.
You smelt it.
He who smelt it. Oh my God, I'm back in North Veritas.
Wow, how did that happen?
Wow, right?
Suddenly things got a little steamy for
It's because I have encyclopedic knowledge of all of the forges in Emberfell.
I love that.
Yeah, if that's what you
Thrud
call it, yeah.
really appreciates that for very much so.
Thank you.
Yes.
We saw Papillon and Electo sort of getting together and performing as well as attempting to pickpocket. And then we
And
saw...
also giving back.
Correct. And also giving back. And we also saw Circe and Remy together during this. Now, during each of these respective silhouettes that we conducted, we saw the influx of a massive band of about 200 refugees making their way down the road towards the city. And nobody really knew what was going on there. So it seemed like it was ominous. Nobody could really tell what was happening until they actually got into the city. Once they were there, you found out that there had been a series of raids in the northern farm towns just to the north in the town of Farmholm and Haythorn, and that these raids took place on the part of these bandits that were sort of invading the towns, burning the houses, displacing people, killing people. And so everybody left and came towards Pills. Are you okay?
I'm just waiting.
Oh, go ahead. Really?
So
Sneeze
polite.
break.
Let's all watch him.
What, are you getting performance anxiety? Someone make a soundbite of that.
And now I'm ready to play.
Clip that
Let's
shit.
do it, y'all.
Chat, clip that.
Chat, clip that.
So the mayor of Pills asked you all to travel north to both of those towns and try and gather information so that we could find out where they stood with those two towns, who was left behind, who survived, and just to kind of assess the situation and then return. She also said that if you are able to see that the coast is clear and to help fix this situation, she would provide you with a bastion in Pills. You would have your own place to stay in this town, which is kind of cool. So she provided you all with horses at the stable
expensive.
and provisions. And when we last left off, you set out north on the road towards what was going on. And so that's where we pick up tonight. All right? So you have set out, it was early morning, and you have been working your way. We should have some actual coconuts. If we're going to do this right, we need actual coconuts.
My bad.
All right, the Northeast Trade Road is the road that you are on, and you are heading north towards the town of The Fork. Some of you had contacted me in the last 2 weeks to talk about some things that might have been happening off to the side. Does anybody want to chime in on that?
You rats.
Or no?
Hold on, I'm eating an M&M.
Mouthful.
Mouthful.
Perfect timing on my
So,
part. Tell us what happened.
So, Circe had that book, or that book that she found last season. And at the beginning of this season, she had a sort of dream where she's back in Steecrux Tower with everybody just after what happened at the end of season 1. Everybody's still asleep, I think, and she wakes up, investigates a bit, and a note is placed by... Was it the note was placed in her notebook?
You placed the note in your notebook. You went, so in the dream, you want me to recap the dream for
Yes,
you?
please.
All right. At the end of the Steecrux Tower scene, which is the end of Season 1's campaign, you were all exiting the tower. You had just opened the lock on that door.
Right.
And when you opened the door, it drew out the spores. You had moments before those spores infected your brain and sent you into the coma that you were in. And oddly, you saw everybody in your party come to almost a full freeze. Everybody almost stopped, but you were able to move about freely, oddly. Upon a little bit of observation, you noticed that they were still in motion, but impossibly slow. You turned and looked over your shoulder, and you noticed that Crix Lockfinger's body is laying there at the throne, and you decide for one last moment to run over there and investigate that body. And you find in Crix's pocket a note. You pick the note up. Now, of course, this is all a dream, right? You pick up the note, you tuck it in the pocket of your book,
Yes.
come back to the party, and time speeds back up to its
Right.
normal speed. You asked me over the last 2 weeks if you could, on a whim, open your book and look inside to see if, by chance, the note was really there. And it is. And this
There's a worm on that.
is the note.
You're fucking shitting me.
Can you pass
Happy
that over
birthday,
to...
Mom.
You're fucking shitting me.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
I'm never washing this hand.
Yeah, no.
God.
Look at this.
Is that fucking...
And what's in the note?
Is that Minecraft's enchanting table?
Is that my horn?
No. Your horn.
No fucking way.
Not your horn, you're a bat.
Oh, this is really cool.
So that's your note.
Thank you.
Good luck deciphering that.
Thank you.
I figured that was maybe right up your
Nathan will
alley.
fucking
Is there math
figure
in it?
out a second.
Nate'll figure it out.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, so we are on the northeast trade road, okay? And we are traveling north.
Yeah.
Now, it is approximately 3 days travel to the first town, The Fork, okay? So, what are we doing?
So I got a question.
Really?
If we're on the north-south trade route, isn't it the road that we took down here?
No, you're not on the north-south trade route. You're on the northeast trade route. Okay. So 4 of the main roads in Emberfell are based on those types of designations. There's the north-south, there's the northwest, there's the northeast, and then there are other ones smattered about because they were simplistic in the way they named their roads.
What are we doing?
I believe there would be times when I would like to kind of scout above, kind of like fly above and just kind of catch like an overview, just to like keep a watch every once in a while, see who's coming up, who's coming from behind, if there's anything surprising us.
Yeah. And at those times when you do fly up above the tree line, and one of the things you have to remember is that this road, the Northeast Trade Road, does follow the Granley River northeast, okay, as it winds up through this valley. On the left side, or the western side of that river, you have mostly farm fields that sort of comprise the very, very tail end of all the agriculture that exists in the North Veritas region, right? You're at the southeastern portion of all of that. To your right, to the east, is the Granley River. And beyond the Granley River, you have the Soundless Wilds. You have that big open expanse of nothingness that the Steecrux Tower sat in. So you're somewhat familiar with this territory for now, but you are heading north for the most part. So that's going to become unfamiliar soon.
Okay.
Cersei, you have a little bit of familiarity with this road because this is the road, one of the roads you traveled from Eldergrove. So this road will eventually take you to Eldergrove, but that's at least 10 days travel.
Yeah.
All right. For the rest of you, the road is a fairly well-traveled trade road, okay? And you, as in your travels on horseback, you see probably every 3, 4, 7 minutes another traveler moving, mostly south, honestly. So that's what you see when you're flying up above the tree line.
Okay.
So we're in a cart, right? Wagon?
Horses.
You are on
we're
horseback.
all on horses?
You're all on horseback.
I got a mini pony.
Sick.
Each of you has saddlebags on the horses, so that you have not necessarily gone through yet, but you can go through them at will if you want to.
I would love to do that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we noticing that, like, he's noticed that people are traveling mostly south.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in the cart seeing people coming in?
To be clear, there's no cart. You're
Right.
all on horseback.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. But yes, it doesn't take long for you to realize that a majority of the travelers are moving in the opposite direction of you.
Okay.
Electo, you wanted to look through your saddlebags.
Yes, and I would also just like to say, while we're on the road, just to be careful, I have a feature called Timber Walk, which means that ability checks made to track me have disadvantage. So just in case anything is following us,
Okay.
on my end at least,
Right.
if they're trying to track me, it has disadvantage.
Right.
Just
Okay.
putting that out there.
That sounds good. You do have Remy in your party who has plate.
Yeah.
So
So it's
And a fairly uncoordinated, loud dwarf.
right.
yeah,
So
but still,
cool. You aren't the
wanted to-
first one noticed. How about that?
yeah. But I just wanted to put that out there. But I am curious about this.
So you search your saddlebags.
Yeah.
And you all notice that they're filled with provisions. But since you were the first one to ask,
Yes.
you find your saddlebag.
What?
Oh,
Come on, man.
oh yes!
Oh, wow.
There's a map provided for your.
We did ask for that.
You did. Yes. So there is a map. That is.
That's awesome.
That's fucking
It's not gonna be. It's not
Gonna
gonna
have a
show.
hard time on that because of the light.
Yeah, but
Here, I can get it on mine.
it's real pretty. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm very excited
All right.
to have a map. Oh yes.
Okay, so like I said,
Made by
3 days
a
travel.
true
So
artist.
what I'm going to do during this 3 days travel is I'm going to ask on each day for a roll to see what the encounters could be. And since we are during the day right now, I'm going to ask for that first roll. So I'm actually going to ask Thrud for the first roll to see how things come down.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
And a black dragon.
Unfortunately, I've seen
black
on
dragon
you wanted
base
to roll. All right. So time is passing. You're getting on towards, say, lunchtime. You have passed no fewer than 24 different travelers. Some look at you and nod. Some wave hello. Some hurry past while looking down and not making eye contact at all. The ones that do say hello, they don't seem like they're in a very loose and friendly mood. They seem concerned, right? And then in front of you, a little ways up, you see a man coming. He has a donkey. There's an iron cross donkey, gray, with a black cross across its back, harness, a couple of big, long wooden poles sticking out, and there is a wagon behind the donkey. And the guy that's with this is not riding. He's just walking next to it. He's got this little light, stringy whip that he just kind of drops onto the donkey's back every once in a while. And he looks like he's holding a book and reading as he walks. The wagon appears to be heaped with items.
Okay.
It's got a haphazard tarp tied to it. He closes in on you and he sees the party on horseback and he just kind of nods his head and he's just like, "Hey! How do you do? Where are you headed?"
Pretty good. Do you have wares?
"I do. I got some strange ones, actually. I
I like
specialize
strange
in
ones.
oddities. What's your name?"
Papillon. Yours?
"Eldritch."
Eldritch.
Yes.
Ooh.
I had some magical backgrounds with my family, and they named me Eldritch. Not exactly something I prefer. Casts a dark shadow on me, but I am overall a relatively happy man.
Did it come with magical benefits?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, man.
Which is the irony of the whole situation. But nonetheless, I have some magical items. I have some odd things. Are you interested? Where are you headed?
We're going to Fork. The town of Fork. Have you heard of it?
Of course. It's one of the key cities for trade. I often trade there myself. I can acquire things there. I can pick up things, sell things, and then sometimes I head down to Pills Things are getting a little bit intense, though, on the road, so
Yeah.
I've decided to maybe head south for a while things...
You're not the only person, apparently.
There's quite a few people who have moved south. Do you know, have you seen any of them walking on the moss?
Yeah, I've talked to many, actually. People are concerned. The town of Farmholm and the Haythorn, they were devastated. There are still some up there, from what I hear, but this group is sowing chaos.
Do you know anything about this group?
Well, I've heard rumors and stories and spent some time in the Fork, so I've, heard my share. The Fork is terrified, actually, because if you look at the line of attacks that come down from Farmholm, the Fork is next in line, if there is such a pattern. So the people there are trying to steel themselves against a potential attack, but that's a trade city. They're not really well armed. I mean, they have town guards and, a decent wall around the city, but these brutes were fast and vicious and strong and leveled those towns in minutes.
Yes, we've heard they've been quite deft in destroying things quickly. Have you encountered them? Have you seen them personally? Or?
I've seen some strange things in my travels, especially at night. One night I was not too far outside of Fork, maybe my first night's travel, I believe it was. And there was a firelight off to the side of the road, and I decided to get curious and take a look. With a little bit of stealth, I snuck up on them, and it was the strangest thing. There was a huge bonfire burning, and I saw 8 or 10 of these interesting characters dancing around the fire. They had another woman tied to a chair in front of the fire. She was gagged. She looked like she was crying. I became afraid, and I left quickly. I was no match for any of them, but it looked like a ritual of some sort. Something wasn't right there. Now, I've done a lot of traveling in these parts. I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, you had me at the dancing part, but the woman gagged is...
This was not the kind of dancing that looked festive or fun by any means.
No. Dancing should always be festive and fun.
These scary dancers, did they have anything unusual about their appearances? Perhaps horns?
Come to think of it, yeah, they did.
Single horns?
I'll tell you, it was a terrifying situation.
Oh, I'm sure.
There was one fellow, actually. You could see that his horn was cracked right off. I thought that was kind of odd. Thought maybe it was a result of some kind of combat maybe he saw when he was raiding a town. I immediately jumped to the conclusion that these were the raiders of the towns. Now, maybe that's a little judgmental and I shouldn't have done that, but it did seem that way.
Sounds like a safe bet.
Where was this again?
Probably a day's travel outside of the Fork.
North or south?
South, in this direction. One of the reasons I hurried on and kept going. Wanted to get as far away from as I could.
Interesting.
I have some nice things on the cart. Would you like to see them?
Yes, please.
Are you interested in anything?
you.
Looking for anything? Do you have any needs?
What do you have?
Well, I've got a variety of scrolls. I've got a couple of magic items, a couple of potions. Things to maybe make encounters a little bit easier for you. My prices are fair, I believe, given that we're all out here on the road together. I maybe charge a slight premium, but...
What
Can
items
I,
do you have?
Well, number one. First of all, what's your budget? Do you have a budget? Because I'm not going to bother showing you things that might be too expensive.
I'm sorry. Should probably say the price first, no? Or at least know what it is.
Do you not trust me?
No, of course I trust you. You seem like a very nice, good man, but it's just the way business works, no?
I have items in my cart from a single gold piece up to 3,000 gold pieces.
3,000.
3,000,
Wow.
yes.
Our budget is generous, I think.
Would you like to see something beautiful?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, he goes digging into his cart. He starts to untie the tarps. He's working actually pretty fast and furiously. He pulls out this really beautiful sword, a long sword. And he's like, he kind of like holds it in the palms of his hands and places it out towards you. He's like, the sword of wounding. Now this is a gem. right? First of all, you have to realize that hit points lost to this weapon's damage can be regained only through a short or long rest rather than by regeneration or magic, so you must rest if you get hit by this. Second, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack using this magic weapon, you can wound the target, and at the start of each of the wounded creature's turn, it takes an additional 1d4 necrotic damage. So it lingers. The wound persists, in a sense. Now, you could make a Constitution saving throw and end that effect. But the wounded creature, or a creature within 5 feet of it, can use an action to make a Wisdom check and end the effect on a success.
It's a longsword?
It is.
It's a bit big for me.
I apologize for that.
Got anything smaller?
I might have something smaller. Let me dig through the cart. Kind of like goes back in, pulls out, kind of like pulls his head around and takes a long, hard stare at you for a second, eyeballs you up and down, and comes back. Now, I do have a lot of scrolls, and you see him like...
It's a nice color. It's a good color.
Are you ASMRing your beer pour?
It's a good
I'm
trickle.
trickling.
Eric, that looks like a good beer, dude.
It's got to settle for a second.
Which
a lot
one
of
did you
head
go
on
for?
it. Moss.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one.
How about armor? Armor? Anybody want armor?
What do you have?
Well, as he sort of says that, you see him producing a set of splint mail. He clearly shows you that he's pulling out splint mail, but from underneath it, you see, at first glance, what appears to be an exquisitely crafted piece of leather armor that just sort of like he pushes that down into the cart.
What are you hiding, friend?
It might be a little beyond the budget, and actually, frankly, it's a little bit dangerous for me to show you everything in my cart. I don't know who you are.
Is it for the dexterous type?
It is leather armor, so yes, it's actually very nice for the dexterous type, but I'm telling you right now, I saw your reactions to 3,000 gold pieces, and this is far more expensive. I don't like to reveal all that I have to travelers. Let me ask you this. Would items north of 10,000 gold pieces be in your interest pool?
That is very rich for my blood, and my blood is already rich.
And understood, completely understood. So
Does
maybe
this
we
guy
just...
show any form of, armor, anything?
His name is Eldritch.
Okay, but someone already asked if he got any magic.
No, but also, here's the
abilities.
thing, though. If Homeboy is walking around with powerful items, which prices exceed 10,000 gold pieces, do we really think this is a guy we want to fuck with?
Is this the lich on the
I
road?
want to fuck with them.
Yeah, this is the Lich on the Road from our podcast, yes.
I mean,
Do you have anything for
Dragon
the
in
artistic type?
disguise?
The artistic type,
Yes.
I do, yes. And he pulls out this little box, okay? And inside the box are a collection of small objects. Now, the box is made of wood, and you see these 4 small objects and what appears to be a paintbrush. This is Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments. Okay? Do you know this
No,
object?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So inside are 4 small pots, all in different carved shapes. Okay? And inside the pots are pigments. The pigments allow you to create 3-dimensional objects by painting them in 2 dimensions. The paint flows from the brush to form your object, and then you concentrate on that image. Each pot of paint is sufficient to cover 1,000 square feet of surface. Okay?
1 or 2 coats.
It's highly opaque, so you really only need 1.
Very good.
So there's a lot of details to this, but basically when you complete the painting, the object or terrain feature that you depict becomes real. Non-magical, but real.
Wow.
Thus, painting a door on a wall creates an actual door that can be opened to wherever you want to go.
I want it.
Yeah. Now, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. Now, nothing created with these pigments can have a value greater than 25 gold pieces, so you can't paint the Holy Grail and sell it and then go buy Emberfell.
You
All right?
can paint 25 gold pieces, though, correct?
What's that?
I could paint 25 gold pieces.
You could paint 25 gold pieces, or you could paint a 25 gold piece diamond.
Interesting.
Well, you could create as many of those as you have paint.
Yes.
Right? How much is
1,000
this?
square feet.
My friend,
Well,
this is
so when it comes to anything above that value, like let's say you wanted to paint a 100 gold piece diamond, it will look exactly like the diamond, but on close inspection you will realize that it's made of something like chalk.
Of course.
Or it'll be fake.
Right.
The object will still appear because you might want a large diamond, maybe to fool somebody.
Yes.
Right? So,
My friend, this is beautiful. Where did you come across such an item?
let me see. I think I traded for this particular item back up in, it might have been Elder Grove, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of magical items in Elder Grove, but you
Interesting.
really have to have, swagger. Like someone like me, who would be able to acquire such a thing.
Swagger recognizes swagger.
Correct.
How's it going up there?
I'm sorry?
How's it going up there?
Where?
Elder Grove.
Elder Grove?
Yeah.
Stodgy as all get out, as it always is, but not bad. They're
Yeah.
doing well. I would love to see these bandits try and raid Elder Grove.
Seriously.
That would be challenging, to say the least. Did you say how much?
How much is this going for? Yes.
200 gold pieces.
I'll take it.
Really?
Yes.
Wonderful. This is lovely. He takes the box out. He finds in his cart a small leather bag, and he tucks the box into the leather bag, ties the string off, and takes the 200 gold pieces from you.
Beautiful. Thank
You
you.
have Nolzur's marvelous pigments.
Thank you, sir. You are truly a lover of the arts.
I hope you enjoy them. I've always been fascinated with them myself, but I don't have artistic flair.
Well, I do. Thank
I
you.
think it would be odd to
some
create an
rich guy.
actual stick figure. Would not really suit the use of these pigments.
That would be very weird. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, what do you got for like 3 gold pieces?
He kind of snickers a little bit and he gets a funny look on his face, but he reaches into his cart and you see him pull out a small branch with 3 green leaves and a couple of little white and red berries on it. And he hands it to you and he's like,
Bitch.
mistletoe, 1 gold piece. It can help when you're lonely.
Oh my god.
I can paint one for you.
I'm fine. I want to cast Detect Thought.
Oh.
Okay.
And I want to probe deeper into his mind. That requires a wisdom saving throw.
This is bad.
This is a problem, brother.
You don't even want to know the initial gist of the thoughts, which is what you're entitled to.
What's the initial gist of the thoughts?
So the initial gist of the thoughts when you probe in
Right.
are mostly that of, the salesman, right?
Right.
Like he's focused really hard on telling you what he's got and trying to understand what each party member might want.
Who are you? Really?
What do you mean?
I mean, who are you?
I'm Eldritch.
Right.
I'm a traveling merchant.
Yeah, and you said your family comes from a magical background?
Well, yes.
What are the thoughts reading? there?
He's curious as to the instantaneous line of questioning from
Yeah.
you, and he's frankly a little bit intimidated by you. Now, have you probed deeper yet?
I would like to.
All right.
Given that question of who are you?
All right, I'm rolling the wisdom saving throw. A nat 1. A nat
Okay.
1.
So that means
Fantastic way to start the game.
Keep it up.
It's that birthday juju.
so then I would gain insight into its reasoning, emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, something that it worries over, loves, or hates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, its first worry that you realize is happening right now is,
Right.
of course, that you will overpower him.
Right.
But then he quickly puts that to bed by looking around just briefly. He has sized all of you up, and he settles that thought very quickly. He's like, this shouldn't be a problem.
What?
And then he goes back to the
challenge
idea,
accepted.
right? He goes back to the idea that he's got things on the cart. He wants to get back to the fork. So he's worried. He's clearly worried about the situation in the fork, because it just feels like something's about to break at any moment. All of the townfolk, you feel this anxiety and pressure from him. So he's on his way to Pills to continue to make a living. And he wants to, actually, the other worry that he has is that he wants to bring his family from the Fork down to Pills. But he's not able to do that yet.
Of course he did that.
And those family, would I be able to ascertain that they're like people, not like, little dragons?
Well, you're in his mind, right? And so they're people.
Yeah.
Sure, you can actually see sort of little silhouetted visages of them. So, yeah.
So it'd be safe to assume that he's not a dragon.
Oh, you're stuck on that.
I'm stuck on that.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So he's got a son, daughter, and wife in
Right.
Pills.
He's a person with a lot of very
ready to fucking
expensive things.
But what you have to
fucking guy.
remember is
Right.
after you probe that,
He knows.
he immediately is like, turns and looks at you, and he's like, why did you do that?
Sorry, I'm just very interested in you. Nothing bad.
What happened?
I'm confused.
What is going on?
Don't worry about it.
This party member of yours has been inside my head.
She does that.
Cersei, what's...
I will buy the mistletoe.
He kind of takes the mistletoe and snatches it back, and he's like, I think not.
Okay.
I think we might be done here. I do appreciate your business, though.
We just met. I'm so sorry. I don't know their ways.
Totally understood, and I accept your apology. But if it's all the same to you, I think I need to be moving on at this point.
Is there anything else you could tell us about the Fork? Because that is the direction that we're heading, and we are essentially enlisted to go check into things up there and further north.
Yeah.
Anyone that you have left behind or that you want to maybe have someone check in on, perhaps?
Well, I have family in the Fork. I'm sure they're okay. They're looked after. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you.
Very good, then. I feel like we have things to do, and since you seem to be a little bit put off, we're going to go do them, and you can go your way, and maybe perhaps we'll cross paths again, huh?
If you get the chance, check in on Arcane Oddities. Corby, the proprietor there. Corby has some wonderful things. I do a lot of trading with Corby, and we often try to, share business together. It can help you, especially if you need to get things done and you're looking for rare things.
That is very much appreciated.
And another favorite of mine, if you're going to Fork and staying there, I don't know. Maybe you enjoy games of chance. Try the Lucky Coin. I have friends there as well.
That sounds like it's up the Bat's alley, but, we will go.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, I must be going. I need to get to the Pills soon. So,
Safe travels to you.
well, take care.
Nice to meet you, Eldridge.
You as well. And he shoots you.
You have a
with
beautiful
glance.
mind.
Oh.
He kind of just turns away from you, grabs the donkey, wraps it all back up. You see him quickly tie up his tarp, and he begins moving back down the road. It's just
Can't
past
take
noon.
you anywhere, can we?
It's just past noon.
Before the end of the day, can I ask for a scene?
You want a scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it now?
Yeah.
Let's have it.
I want to pull up next to Cersei. Hello.
Hello.
So you can probe into people's minds?
Yeah. Do you want a test run?
No, please, no.
No?
I would not like that. You're kind of scary.
Okay.
I mean, how do you do this?
I'm going to speak telepathically to Papillon. And I go, like this.
I don't like that.
No, try it.
You are
you don't,
tickling a piece in my brain I do not
don't-
enjoy.
you don't have to speak with your mouth back. Speak back to me
Tickling from the inside.
in my head.
It's just like a that goes through.
I heard it.
Okay, this
Just
is
like that.
interesting. Thank you.
And I'm not going anywhere else in your mind. I'm not seeing anything that's in there. I'm just speaking to you in your head, and you're responding.
Well, you're speaking to me as if this is very common, and I've never experienced this in my life.
Oh, that's all
It's
right.
a little
It's just common for me.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as long as you use it for good, I guess it's fine. Yeah.
Hey, I
you
tell
were
you what.
worried. You were worried about Eldridge.
A little bit. I don't know. I've just been a little suspicious of people.
Are you usually not
they
trusting?
come. Sort of. Not really. I'm not really away from home much, and this is...
This is new for you. Me too,
Yeah.
actually. I never have left home before, so I'm kind of in the same boat.
I kind of like it, but I'm just used to, like... I'm very used to the people that I grew up around, and... I don't know. People freak me out a bit.
What do you like about it? You like the adventure?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
I like these guys.
They're pretty cool, yeah.
They fucking suck sometimes, but...
Thrud is she seems like a nice mama for the group.
She is. She is.
Yeah.
You know, you just be you, and she'll take good care of you.
Okay. I like that. I like being me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
You're a cool
seriously.
person. You know, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Anytime in the future, because this telepathic thing, it's a good trick. In case there's anybody else in the room that you don't want to, let them hear what you're saying.
Yes.
Just like shoot me a special type of look if you need me to speak to you in your head and speak back to me.
Okay, seriously. I like this.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Looks at the general direction of those two on the horses and wants to do an insight check.
Fire away at the inside check.
Oh, that's sad. That's a 12.
What are you trying to learn?
I'm just trying to learn, like, are they being overt or are they being covert? What's happening in their brains? I want to get a feeling for this a little bit.
Well, I would say with a 12, you're probably not going to get a ton of information in your
No, I
insight
don't-
check.
I also don't try to hide my emotions at all.
Well, and I also, yes, and I can absolutely see that. The 12 will tell you that as you keep glancing over, it's sort of like that thing when you're looking at two people across the cafeteria and you know they're talking about you and they keep looking at you while they're talking about you.
That's essentially it.
That's
Yeah.
happening right now.
Very
And-
good.
and
Thank
so
you.
That much
I
you did
just
get.
wanted confirmation. Through
I'm gonna-
stares at the bat and then looks at Cersei.
I'm
and
gonna
then
say to
stares
you,
at the bat.
don't worry, Mother. Only good things.
Oh shit.
You have a nice, comforting vibe.
Hunting mother.
I love that you've become the mother.
Thrud gives a little bit of a heel to our horse and pulls out in front.
Are there
Continues to move on.
question?
Just before you say that, I would just like to finish that thought where you give a heel to the horse, and it is kind of amusing to see a horse in a trot with a dwarf atop it, because it is, there's a certain bounce to a dwarf on a horse in trot.
Clank.
Alexa, what were you going to say?
Are there? So looking at this map here, are there any like trees surrounding the road?
Yeah, there are trees actually mostly to the left side, an occasional tree on the right side. So it's a riverbank on the right side.
Perfect. Electo kind of sees that whole craziness happen. And the next time that we pass a tree, Electo kind of just holds up a hand and I'll druid craft 2 apples spontaneously grow off a branch of the tree and just fall into Electo's hand. And I'm going to trot up to Thrud and toss her one.
That's amazing.
Interesting.
That's a good apple.
Thank you. Made it myself.
Yeah, I saw. You do that quite often? You make a fruit and hand it to people you travel with all the time? Yeah?
Well, I mean, usually it's just me. I mean, Papillon's a little more picky.
I can see it probably has a very discerning palate.
Delicate, we'll say.
Is he more of a fruit bat or more vampire? Like, does he like grapes, or do I have to sleep with one eye open? Is what I'm saying, huh?
He has a bit of a sweet tooth. It's mostly fruits and organics.
Okay, I like flying fox. That's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't bite.
Good to know.
Yeah, it can be frustrating sometimes.
That he doesn't bite.
He and I met Well, I was in a bit of a tussle, and he lent a hand, but was a bit stingy on how to go about things.
How do you mean stingy? Like, wouldn't,
He doesn't like to finish the job.
Wow. I'm just going to let that
There
one fly
are a
right
million
by.
things that Thrud wants to say right now, but she's judging what would be the most inappropriate and leaning towards that.
Like I said earlier.
Wow.
I don't swing his way, if that's what you're thinking.
Duly noted. Thrud kicks her horse and pulls out the left hand a little bit further. Just wants to get to the fork, because all of these conversations are getting a little weird for Thrud, huh?
Understood. Now, the rest of the day sort of unfolds through these conversations and scenes as, you're getting to know one another. And nighttime begins to fall. And again, you've passed a number of travelers along the way. But as afternoon unfolds, the sun begins to go down, you notice fewer and fewer of them. It's starting to occur to you that it might be time to find a place to camp.
And I do a perception check for something that seems a little less exposed. Maybe a couple trees, a couple of boulders, or something that we could
You can roll if you want.
tuck into. Or
You can roll if you want, but I would say that it wouldn't be long before you were able to find something. Given the commonplace travelers on this road on a regular basis, it would not be hard to sort of locate something. And you do see several spots that have evidence of others camping along the road in the past. Yeah.
Would I discern that the amount of paint I own is scarce? Like,
Well, you have 4 pots of paint. Each one's able to cover 1,000 square feet, so you have quite a bit.
so I'm pretty good. And like, is it just any paint? So the magic is in the box. It's not the paint itself. So if I get other paint, it'll work.
No, it is the pigments themselves that are magical, so they are consumable.
Okay,
They don't
gotcha.
last forever.
Okay.
can I just ask a weird clarifying question? 1,000 square feet per pot?
Yes,
So that's like 2.5 gallons?
they're magical paints, dude.
So she's not counting. He's not carrying like 8 gallons of paint, right?
No, as a matter of fact, they're not even wet paint inside of
It's
these
just
pots.
pigment.
It's pigment, and so it's a highly concentrated pigment. The box does have some heft to it, right? So yes,
Gotcha.
an unbelievable amount. I understand.
I'm just, I'm
But
just
it
trying
is-
to get this mental image.
It is magical.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to try it out?
Up to
I
you.
can make us a nice home for tonight.
Oh. Like a,
Do you want to?
I'm kind of
Maybe you should
eager.
experiment with something smaller, huh?
yeah.
Don't blow your pot load.
Like a
once,
fire
huh?
pit.
I make a fire pit.
Get a nice fire.
Nice fire
Something
pit.
small that's not
Yeah.
going to attract a lot of
With
attention.
chairs.
Yeah, the roads
With chairs.
seem to
With
be
chairs.
the roads
Chairs.
seem to be a bit dangerous at night.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a fire pit with chairs, and then I'm going to make a wall to block the view of the road.
A wall.
Okay.
Sounds like you're going to use at least the pot. Huh? Just saying.
Really?
Oh, maybe,
We have 6 horses.
6 of us horses.
Yes, yes.
Big
Maybe-
wall.
Don't need to
Maybe
stay
skip the
close.
wall.
I just do for the fire. I will just do the fire, okay? I'm going to start painting a nice fire that kind of has like a lot of like cobblestones around it to kind of keep the fire in its little pit. And it's really fancy. and
Okay,
nice.
so you're painting the fire pit, not the fire.
The fire pit with a fire.
Well, the fire itself wouldn't be really the type of thing. That This is more of an inanimate object.
Okay, then I'll
All right.
paint it with some wood in there.
Okay, perfect.
Dry.
I could
Preferably
tack-
chopped dry wood.
Dry wood.
Yes.
Excellent. All right.
I can tackle the fire if you want to make the pit.
I want to do it. Please?
Give it a try.
Okay.
So it takes about 10 minutes
He's
to
still
cover.
Weird. I know. Just saying. I mean, it's not that I don't like them. It's just they're a little weird. No,
The bat's a little weird,
no, that one not so normal either, huh?
but that one says she knows us.
It's the lizard.
That's the lizard.
So it takes about 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet, which would be a 10 foot by 10 foot area. So since it's a fire pit, it's relatively small. I'd say that inside of 10 minutes, with your artistic ability, you're able to paint a relatively nice... Can you describe the fire pit to us as it comes to life?
Yeah, so the fire pit is like, a decent size. I would say it's like a 4x4 fire pit, nice and easy. It's like surrounded with cobblestones, but like it's got some nice like grates that come up on the side that keep like the fire in and like keep it from spreading. So it's a very safe fire pit. And then like on an engraving on like the metal pieces, I have like just like papillon engraved in there. This is my first piece of art with this thing.
Nice.
I'm very proud of it.
You sound like you're proud. And it sounds like a masterpiece of fire pit.
Yes.
All right, so Electa, were you going to light the fire in this thing? Or did you light the fire?
Yeah. I'll light it, sure.
I was gonna see if I could use Druidcraft to cause 2 small pieces of wood in the fire pit to just rapidly rub themselves together to try and start the fire that way.
That, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, might be beyond the realm of Druidcraft.
Because it only... How about this?
Okay.
Oh yeah, with the fireplay aspect of it, I can... Oh wait! Fireplay! You can light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a campfire.
There you go.
Okay.
Sweet.
There you go.
She kind of just like bends down. The green eye kind of shimmers a bit as she just snaps her fingers, and 2 of the smaller logs just and like whir up, and the fire just begins to light.
I'm gonna give you a high five. We did this together.
Okay.
Fireplace sounds dirty.
Okay.
I'll just kind of like sit by the fire and like warm up my hands a little bit.
Okay. You guys settle in, and you've got this fire pit set up. You make a few of the provisions that are provided for you, and you're cooking around the fire.
Druid walks over to the fire, puts her hand into the fire, make sure that the fire is real, gives a look over towards Lizard Eye over there, and then rattles the metal that you've painted, just to look at it a little bit more and find out a little... She's curious. She wants to know.
She's judging you.
Yes, he is. My metalwork.
Runs a finger over the papillon.
Well, the first thing you notice is that the metal appears to be real, right? But you, as a connoisseur of masterful alloys and understanding the various carbon contents of the steel that you use to make the weapons that you use, you recognize this metal to be off somehow. It's odd.
It's chalky.
It's got a chalkiness to it. Yeah. Yeah. It stands up to the fire.
Doesn't ring.
It's got some heft to it.
Doesn't ring.
But right, it doesn't have that ring to it.
All right. That's all.
And to
just
you,
wanted to
Papillon,
check.
I have to say that watching Thrud walk around your newly found fire pit with scrutiny and this kind of like troubled, furrowed brow as she sort of brutally handles the metal on some level. You're watching this, trying to figure out what it is that's going on. She seems incredibly critical of the...
Strud, I wish you would talk to me. What's going on? You don't like the grates?
I didn't say I didn't like it, but I.
This is your area of expertise, right?
I know that it was fairly obvious, yes, but
You look like you know your way around metal.
yes, I do.
And I'm not used to seeing people wield metal objects with a paintbrush. It's a little odd for me, so checking things out. I wanted to look at it. It's not terrible what you did.
Thank you.
So, for your first time with this weird pot of magic paint, nice job, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you, Den Mother.
Damn,
I think that.
I don't think I know you enough for you to tell me that, to call me that. All right, let's just back it up a little bit.
I want to do a. I want to be like. I want to give a nice smile, like a nice unassuming smile, to kind of be like, but it's okay, you know. But it's all right.
The bad thing is he has swagger.
You know, I think that the wielding metal with the paintbrush is like a bridge, right, between the sturdy hammer, the blue collar work, and the artist. You know?
Third takes out tear off of her back and smashes the fire pit on one side of it.
You're gonna smash the fire pit with
Just
your
one
axe.
side of it with
your hammer.
tear. Yeah.
Yeah. Make an attack roll.
Oh, it's a nat 1. Son of a bitch.
I wonder if in your nat 1 you're a little flustered by this whole thing. Like Papillon is giving you something you're not used to getting. So as you take tear out and go to smash it, you completely miss it. It rings down onto the ground. There's a small like rock embedded in the ground there, and you do manage to crack the rock, but you completely miss the fire pit. This startles you.
You see what I did there? I broke that rock. I could have broken this thing here that you painted, huh?
I'm really glad you didn't.
Well, you consider yourself lucky then, huh?
I'm very lucky, thank you.
Way to recover from that.
Turns around and walks away.
I like to.
I'm gonna go hang out in a tree. I'm gonna take a breath.
You're just gonna fly away.
I'm gonna read some poetry.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm gonna go read some poetry.
Nice.
Damn.
Okay. So the night presses on. And why don't we choose who's going to keep watch? If
I'll
anyone.
watch a little bit.
You going to watch?
I'll go after you. I'll go after you.
I don't need to sleep.
Oh.
I can
At
finish,
all?
I can finish a long rest in 4 hours if I spend those hours in an inactive, motionless state.
Oh, that's what I have
Sleep.
with meditation.
That's what I have.
So
Great. We'll never have a
Sweet.
problem picking the night watch.
During which you retain
Brood
consciousness.
beds down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Through sort of
Yeah,
snoring.
I retain consciousness. I kind of just sit there like a creepy doll.
This is normal. This is very normal. I'm going to sleep upside down on branch.
I could take the first watch. I could probably do it sharpening my swords or something.
Okay. So
Sounds
you're
good
on
to me.
first.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, Bran, you're going to do second? Or Bran, are you not?
I'll I mean,
you want to do
I
second together?
we could do it together.
Let's do it
Sure,
together.
Sure.
Great.
So then I'll take my sleep and then we'll get up for second.
Okay.
I want to point out that I am putting my belongings up on the branch with me.
Noted. The rest of you begin to bed down. Electo, you stay up for the first watch.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
I'm gonna use my Rickroll D20. 16.
A 16. Your watch unfolds rather pleasantly.
Yay.
The night is quiet. It's early in the night, right? You guys probably bed down around 10, 11 o'clock, I'm going to say. And so for the first 4 hours, up until about 2 o'clock in the morning, things are quiet. The occasional snap of a twig in the woods, the sound of night birds, the crickets in the distance. Remember that it is still the heart of the warm season. But that's about it for you. Nothing too terrible.
Bum, bum, bum.
But give me time.
Eldritch is back in the middle of the night.
Electo,
You want to look at my wares?
She kind of like,
Bran, you really want to fuck that Eldritch guy up?
Me too. I really did.
she kind of like, she probably spent most of this time sharpening her short sword and her scimitar.
Okay.
And then I'll wake the elves. You guys are up.
Circe is in an upright sitting position with her eyes shut, and when you come in and start speaking, she just goes,
Neat trick.
"Yes, thank you."
Are you two taking this one together? I'm sorry I interrupted you. I didn't realize you weren't done.
I was having a dream about a family of mice.
Interesting.
I don't know what it means yet.
It's nice.
You know, that's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Get your sleep.
Okay. As you get up, I'm gonna sit down exactly where you were sitting. The only thing that's different is that my eyes are wide open.
Wide the fuck open. Seriously's gonna. All right. You good?
I was role playing. Oh fuck my eyes.
Are you in a position that you're like staring at us?
Yeah.
Shit.
Nice. Well,
All right. Well,
After a while, I'll say probably like an hour or two in, when you're not looking, she's not there anymore.
What?
What?
And where Electo sat is a small black locket.
motherfucker.
What the fuck?
It's like the ring again.
Okay.
So,
Noted.
She appears after like an hour.
That's so cool.
In a puff of shadow.
So can I have Circe and Bran, one of you, roll a d20? You decide who's going to do it.
What is this a roll with?
A d20.
Just
Right,
roll it.
but okay.
No advantages.
Go ahead, birthday.
Birthday, bitch.
a D20.
That's a not fucking 20.
Shut up.
That is a not fucking 20.
You didn't even use your birthday coin,
Didn't even
did
use
you?
my birthday coin. I had faith.
You're getting fucked up.
Well then. You know, it's funny how we always assume that the 20 is the desired number.
Yeah, I
This dark chocolate.
Yeah,
You want some?
it's gonna be good.
That didn't answer my question.
No, not dark chocolate.
Okay, then I'm okay. Thank you.
So Cersei, what happened to the little one? She disappeared.
Fuck do I know?
Fuck.
Oh, sleep is weird.
You should be. I'm not there.
You're in a fucking tree.
I'm seriously sort of like jotting down some stuff in a notebook, while like talking with you and looking around all at the same time.
So, Electra disappeared,
That's not
and there
where
was
she
a
is.
locket there.
Apparently, yes.
gonna-
So you look over and
Go
you,
investigate it a little bit,
okay.
maybe.
You walk over, pick the locket up. Can you describe to us what the locket looks like, please?
Yeah, absolutely. The locket is a standard silver chain. You've seen it dangling around Electo's neck. It is it's a small vertical rectangular shape that is made of this black metal, and it very easily opens, and inside of it, kind of plastered to the back, is just this tiny fragment of a pale colored bone-like material, with an inscription on one side in halfling.
That's not one of the ones I have.
Okay.
Okay.
What happens,
I'm
Toddley?
just gonna put it back down,
Wait.
I guess.
Move it like 3 feet to the right.
Okay, I'll put it down in a slightly different spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you reappear, where are you with respect to the locket?
She reappears soon after in that exact same position with the locket on, but where the locket was left.
Okay.
Don't fuck with the locket.
So,
Eyes still open?
oh yeah, fully.
All right.
She's asleep but conscious.
Interesting.
Cersei, this one's
That was weird.
Interesting.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
What is with all these characters doing weird things in their sleep? characters.
Cut over, like the camera cuts over to me drooling upside down.
So the two of you are sitting there pondering over the very strange events that are happening. And you notice that, number one, the day was mostly clear today, all right? Blue skies. And the evening is actually quite nice. There is a sort of very crystal black sky with stars in the sky. You're looking up at the three moons. Doter, Swoon, and Nuvis are all in their respective positions. Doter and Swoon are actually not close together, but they're kind of like at an angle to one another. And as you're sort of like just thinking about this, and you know, like you don't talk for 4 hours, obviously. You trail off into certain moments of quiet meditation while you look up. And between Doter and Swoon, there is a small constellation of stars in the sky. It's a cluster. It's always hard to see how many there are, because just when you think you know there are 5, there's the faint hint of a 6th. Or when you really have good vision and you know that there are 6, there's the faintest hint of a 7th. And as you're sitting there watching this, you swear they begin to move. And so you study them a little bit more closely. And you see this constellation of stars actually stretch out and form a line. 7 stars form a perfectly straight line between Doter and Swoon. And as you're watching this in disbelief and trying to see if maybe your eyes are deceiving you or if you've been asleep, the night's quiet is cracked by this sound, and it grows louder. Now, not loud enough to wake the party necessarily, but it becomes really apparent.
What was that?
What in the War of the Worlds fuck?
Is that coming from a particular direction?
It is coming from every direction. It sounds as if it comes from the horizon itself. This does not sound like a creature off in the woods. This sounds like Etania itself is groaning. It is guttural, it is pervasive, and it comes up through the ground, through the very ground you are sitting on.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is that?
Throod sits up,
Yeah, do we hear this?
just like kind of waking up. I felt something rumble. Did you?
Yeah, the whole, like, world?
Yeah. Fucking weird noise. Does it happen again or no?
You hear it 3 times,
3 times.
Just 3 times.
and then it stops.
Has this... And we haven't heard this
Are the
previously.
stars still aligned?
They are.
I'm asleep.
I don't know.
What did you do?
I'm
I
just
didn't do
going...
anything. I'm just sitting here.
What did you hear? It was
Can't just put the regular music back on.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Motherfucker.
You got,
Oh my
Yeah, you want to run minstrels?
he's got a dragon turtle under the surface, dude.
like this groan coming from everywhere.
I felt something, and that's what woke me up.
The stars aligned.
Look, the stars between the moon. They're still there.
And then everything just resonated with this sound. That's fucking weird. Circe's going to keep her eyes exactly fixed on those stars and watch for any changes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I'm fucking asleep. So.
You're sleeping.
I slept through it all.
You never woke up.
Nope.
It would have been harder for you to sense that given that you were in a tree.
Yeah.
Right? You were on the ground, and so you did feel it.
I am technically conscious. So though I am
I've never heard that.
in my
That was,
weird trance, I was aware of that.
If only we had someone that could talk to the fungal network that's in the earth. Be like, hey, what's up?
Now, this did happen towards the end of your rest, so I would say it's probably close to 5:30 in the morning at this point.
Huh. Well, shit.
That was the stars between Doter and
Swoon.
We have rations in our saddlebags, yeah?
We got the
You do.
lambus bread in our bags.
We don't actually have lambus bread, but you do have rations in the bags. Little pocket jerky,
Okay.
right?
Pocket jerky's always good.
Fruit unwraps the banana leaves.
Yes.
Finds something in them.
Yes.
Stirs about whatever coals might be left in the painting that was then three-dimensional. I guess that fire going again and put some of her rations on to start warming things up for the rest of everyone.
All right. You guys,
She's disheveled and very confused. Woke up in a
that's a deeply troubling noise.
less than happy state.
I'm gonna wake up super joyful. Kind of like, oh yes, good morning.
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 You guys all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird night. Weird night.
Okay.
Very weird night. What?
Yeah, I got a
Where
question
did
for
you go?
Oh. Huh?
I'm gonna hit you like right when you come awake.
Yeah, what's going on?
So, what's with the locket?
Oh. It was my friends.
So wait. Also, where did you
Enough
go?
said.
Yeah.
You disappeared
Enough
in the middle
said.
of your sleep.
Oh. Okay. I suppose I probably owe at least you for an explanation. Because Remy is still here, right?
Yeah.
She's just
in
kinda
theory,
quiet.
yes, but she's just going to be out for tonight's interaction.
Sure.
I'm not going to play her.
She's sleeping in.
Yes.
The long and short of it is that after everything that went down at Steecrux Tower, I think a portion of Thyla's kind of essence is now a part of my body and being, which is how I have some of their memories.
You got the weird eye.
I noticed that too.
How did you know the lizard?
Truth be told, I didn't.
You just
Well,
suddenly have a part of their consciousness in your being?
it makes even less sense to me than it does to you. But I know that in whatever state of standard life that they had, they thought very highly of all of you.
We didn't know Thyla that long, but they were nice.
The lizard was stand-up. They pitched in when they needed to be.
This still doesn't explain
shit
where
out
he
of
went.
Thyla that one time.
What's that?
I scared the shit out of Thyla that one time.
It's funny.
It was really fucking good. She destroyed that goblin.
Yeah.
It was good. Do you know that one?
Todd.
I have vague
While they're having
recollection.
this convo, I'm gonna take a nice pan out of my bag, go over to the fire, put it on the fire, take out this big ass jar I got with like a nice amber liquid. Gotta take it out, just pour it on the pan, let it sizzle.
As that's happening, I know you're curious more so about the locket than anything else, but that's kind of part of it. Before, I don't know if merging with Thyla is the best way to put it, but I don't really know how else to word it. Before that happened, I couldn't do a lot of the things that I can do today. She kind of holds up a hand, and underneath the wraps and the leather armor, this like wisping shadow kind of envelops her wrist and some of her hand before she flicks it away. That didn't happen. And something that I've noticed is that I seem to have some part of me bound to the locket. Again, it makes even less sense to me.
Interesting. But so as a result, you also disappear in your sleep?
Sometimes. Doesn't happen every night.
Do you know where you go?
It's just darkness.
How do you know this is happening if you're asleep?
Well, I'm not asleep.
They sleep with their eyes open.
This is all too
It's
weird for
fucking
me.
weird. It's
Well, I
weird.
mean, it's kind of...
It's creepy.
It's strange. Again, I don't fully understand what I am anymore. I mean, I get the benefits of sleep. I feel perfectly rested, but for those 4 hours that I just sat there, except for the little bit of time where it was just dark, I was up. I heard that weird rumbling. I saw the fucking stars move.
What?
Oh yeah, you missed a lot. You were in the tree.
Yeah, the stars moved.
Look,
It woke
Titania
me up.
crowd.
I don't know how you didn't feel it.
The fact that you just casually... Yeah, stars move. Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not scary at
look,
all.
whatever is going on with anything, I remember some things from when you were all traveling with Thyla, and I mean, it seemed to me like you guys had a similar path, if that makes sense.
Well, you know, Electa, to be honest, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. I mean, that's speaking for myself. I don't know if Thrud or Cersei or Ramiel will agree, but we just kind of, you know, do.
Then can I ask you for help?
I mean, add it to the list. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if you're gonna like the sound of it.
Oh,
What is it?
I'm looking for Calagenia.
Well, we found him once.
yeah,
So
we ran into that one.
why are you looking for Calagenia?
It's personal.
You need a little more than that for us to help you find Calagenia.
Yeah.
You know, ambiguity.
He killed someone close to me.
Oh, he does
surprise
that.
us.
This Calagenia is a dick.
Oh, a massive one.
Supremely.
He's actually a mound of dick right now.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting.
not all the time.
They're
Not all the time.
It's a big dick.
I think that we are talking... I don't like that we are still
he was like
talking
a
about
tree,
dicks.
wasn't he?
He was like one giant mound of Itania.
Flora.
Laura,
You
tree,
want to...
something.
Itania.
You might want to sleep in
It's
him.
in a real world.
What? I want to sleep in a big dick?
Look,
He's a big plant creature thing when we met this one.
He kept slamming the ground.
Fucking super strong.
Really annoying.
Well, I would like to vouch for my friend here. They seem like a good person. We met a few weeks ago, and they're willing to help me look for my brother who is missing, and they've been kind to me every step of the way.
Let's add another one to the list.
Here's the thing.
Looking for brothers.
Regardless of what's going to happen, we're probably going to run into Caligini again. At least the trajectory that we're on.
Well, I think Remy might have a vendetta against Caligini too.
Okay.
And
I'll talk to her when she's awake.
Yeah. She likes to sleep.
I mean, the reality is
I think she's a little under the weather right now.
Yeah.
But also, Philo must have chosen you for a reason. And maybe it's that you feel similar to how we do about the forces that are acting in the world. And, let's maybe stick together for a bit, see if we do align in those ways.
I mean, Caligini is essentially responsible for
All of this.
fucking up everything,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Well, either way, when it comes to this debacle with the farming towns and all these people shouting "Next Cornu" and all that craziness, I think we're kind of locked in.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it through.
Me too. People need help. If we can do that, why not?
Indeed. Should we get back on the road?
yeah, no, sure.
Let's do it.
Before that, Thrud takes
Still working
some
on the
of
pocket bacon?
pocket bacon that she has been cooking, takes a piece off of each of the sticks that she had found
You making
that
that
she
right?
was cooking over that, and hands it out to the crew.
I'm also going to.
Pocket bacon, pocket bacon, pocket bacon,
Yes,
pocket bacon, pocket
thank you.
bacon.
Thanks.
I also have some nectar. If you guys would like some.
Nectar.
Yes.
Cooked nectar.
Yes. You see, when you cook it in the pan, it crystallizes like a cracker.
Oh,
If you like some.
Oh, so I can't
I would
dip
love
the
I
bacon
would love
in
a
it?
piece.
I have extra
Can I
if you
have
want to
some?
dip some bacon.
I
Dip the
want
bacon
some.
in it?
This is what we eat in our
Give
in the roost.
me.
I'm gonna give you. I crack off a little piece for everybody. Piece, and then I'm gonna take your pocket bacon and I'm
What's-
going to dip it in my jar that is in my bag, and I'm going to give it to you. And it's dripping with nectar.
What's the texture like?
It's viscous. It's
Viscous.
glowing orange.
Well, the cracker.
The cracker. It's
Yeah.
picture like a
Like a peanut brittle?
peanut brittle, like a brownie brittle.
And what
Have you
does
ever
it
had
taste
that?
like?
You see, it tastes warm, but it also tastes salty. Yes. But it's
This your
Where did you get this?
as you kind of bite into it, it reminds you of the ocean.
Stop.
But it's fresh and it is nice
sure it's
and
fresh.
it's comforting.
Thrud takes the cracker that you've given
Yeah,
her,
saltine.
looks at it,
It's very,
wraps her piece of bacon around it, and throws it down in one gulp.
We like.
It's pretty good.
it's a little salty, but, you know.
Okay, it'll grow on you. Give it time. And we go on the road. with
Given
full-
you're sharing your cuisine from back home at the party, I'm going to have you make the D20 roll
shit.
for the first half of the day.
You're everybody getting that one, baby. 16.
A 16.
Bouncing
Wonderful.
by tree.
So what are we doing?
said it was called.
Saddling up the horses and
Yeah.
getting moving.
Continuing to move towards the fork.
Fantastic.
We are fork bound.
Folk bound.
How was
Away from me.
how far away was Fork?
3 days.
Wait, Fork is 3 days away?
You're now 2 days away.
Nice.
How far were the
Give me
other
a note.
towns?
Maybe
They
you
were
should
past-
share.
Yeah.
Maybe you should share
So-
the map.
So the fork is this little like corner bit here, and then Haythorn and Farmholm are farther north. So once we reach the fork, we'll have
Hills.
to we'll have to pivot Western. All of the farming.
Can we go to Chaduk?
All of the farming people came down through the fields.
No, we can't get there from here. We're going this way. There's no road there.
We gotta go back though.
Well, once we go to Quarry, then we go to...
Or maybe we go to Haythorn
What do you want to
Farm
cut
Home.
through the
And I
woods?
mean, they cut through the fields. We go to Chaduk.
I'm not opposed to checking out Duke. I just think we'd go to Fork first. Yeah.
We should
Well, yeah,
probably.
we have a mission. Okay, we're going.
To the fort.
To the Fork.
So can you willingly go into that locket?
Just kind of happens.
It just happens. So okay.
It sounds like you've got one up on them.
All right, so you begin traveling the road again. The day today is a little bit similar, although there is a bit of a hazy overcast to the sky. All right, so you can see a bit of a halo around the sun. It looks like it might be a little bit warmer today than normal. You can't tell quite if it's a haze from humidity and mist or a haze possibly from a distant smoke, but it does hang in the air nonetheless. There is no smell of smoke, but it does have a sort of color to it that is, I won't say unnatural, but it doesn't feel like mist. That being said, you are back on the northeast trade route.
Can I fly above it?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I was reading it all night. You have it on your sweatshirt.
Oh, okay. I was scared. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go.
Sure. Sure. All right, so you take off and you fly above. How high do you want to fly?
Till I am above the smoke. Unless the air gets thin, I don't want to die.
Okay. Well, you fly up about 150 feet. You're flying up well above the tree line.
Damn.
All right. And at that point, you do crack through what appears to be a low-hanging mist in the air. It's not heavy, but it is noticeable when you break through it. Things become a little clearer. Off in the distance, some of the mountain ranges that exist off in the distance all of a sudden clarify as you break through this. So clearly something's hanging there. Not sure if it's a low-pressure system, what keeps it down. However, roll a perception check for me while you're up there.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
Here we go, baby. Ka-chow. Give me a second. I think I have good perception.
You think?
Yeah. 19.
19.
Nice.
So to the northwest,
That's nuts.
as you sort of, because when you fly up, you try to stay tracking with the road below you so
Yeah.
you kind of keep direction. To the northwest, which is sort of about a 45-degree angle from the direction you're traveling, you do notice that the mist is heavier and it appears to almost darken as it gets off in the distance. Something appears to be burning, but we're talking a great distance away. This is not a mile away or 10 miles away.
This isn't Papillon. Go check it out.
No, this is 100 miles away or more.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a fire, but it's really far off.
Okay.
To the west?
To the west, to the northwest.
After looking at the map, would I be able to like discern like what kind of town the direction the fire's in?
Fire.
You can't tell whether it's in a town or not. You just notice that the source of the heavy smoke seems to be from that direction, but you can't see whether it's a town or a forest or...
Was it in the direction of Chaduk?
You don't know where Shaduk is.
We see the map.
Yeah, the map.
Yeah, if you came down and looked at the map, it would be sort of in that general direction, but so are Farmholm and Haythorn, and you probably can't discern whether it's Shaduk burning or whether it's remnants of the other two towns. Hard to say.
Okay. I'm gonna pop back down in the group. I kind of like break through the smoke. There is the fire. This is fire smoke. I'm guessing maybe it could be these this war party we're after. Maybe they're on their next village. I don't know.
Look like it's in the direction of the fork.
It's in the direction of either Haythorn, Shaduk, or Farmhold.
Do you think it's possible that they're burning the fields?
It could be. I'm worried it's them. It seems like a large fire, but it's a great distance away.
I think that we should stay on our route.
Just keep it in mind.
To the fork.
To the
We should
fort.
make haste.
So you're continuing on.
Yes.
And as you sort of creep up on the noon hour, because you've been at it for a little while, to the north of you, each of you becomes aware of, in your own time, but relatively quickly and close together, the sound of horse hooves, not your own, at a great speed, a very, very fast gallop. And then, around a subtle bend in a northeast trade route that's off in the distance in the direction you're traveling, you see come around the bend a team of 2 horses pulling a wagon at full-on speed. The wagon almost seems to go up on 2 wheels as it comes around the corner. They're furiously running, and even though it's far off in the distance, you can almost see the breath as one snorts out. And I think we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
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 All right. I think we need a break.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. We've been at it for an hour and a half.
That's true.
So we'll take a quick break. And, last week we had that glitch in the stream right as we went to break. And what I would really love to do,
Just not have that happen.
well, number one, I'd really love to not have that happen this week. I would like to try and show the video from Bag of Holding that Atticus did on Patient Longbow again, because I think that was unfairly cut off last week and didn't really get shown as well as it should. So I think we're going to try that again this week. I kind of hope it works. But also what you can look forward to if you're still out there watching, don't leave on the break, because some of us will jump in the chat room and chat with you while the rest of us do whatever it is we got to do.
Maybe
So,
you could talk to Thrud. Maybe she will make you feel uncomfortable.
We're missing our fishbowl cam this week.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
don't have the fishbowl cam this week, so
We revamped this studio, and it's one thing that's missing.
yeah, sorry about that. That's just going to be the way it is. All right, let me get you set up with this, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Set up with this.
There you.
We're on break.
Hello, and welcome to... Hello, and welcome to Bag of Holding, a segment where I... Hello, and welcome to Bag of Holding, a segment where I make magic items for you to take and use in your own tabletop games. On Bag of Holding, I essentially yap about a magic item that I've created that you can use in your own games. Each magic item has 3 tiers for 3 different points in a narrative of a campaign. The first tier is the Discovered tier, which is meant for roughly a 3rd or 4th level character after the item is initially found and used. The Improved tier, the 2nd tier, is made for roughly a 10th level character, which is a bit more powerful. Finally, the 3rd tier, the Perfected tier, is meant for use for about a 15th level character. This is when it starts to get insane. Today we're talking about the Patient Longbow. It is a martial weapon, ranged, and is standardly, in its discovered form, a +1 longbow. That does require attunement. This longbow seems old and weathered, but its strong, aged wood holds true, awaiting the right wielder. It resembles a large longbow made of deep-shaded wood with a mysteriously patterned grain. When drawn, the grooves in the wood glow a vengeful red. As a +1 weapon, of course, you have +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the Patient Longbow, as well as its first perk, Anger in Waiting. Whenever you score a critical hit or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with this weapon, you gain 1 Fury Charge. As part of an attack action, you can expend 1 Fury Charge to fire a Furious Shot, which instead of the regular damage, deals 2d8 plus the applicable modifiers of any damage type of the wielder's choosing. At this point, you can have a maximum of 1 Fury Charge. In its improved form, the Patient Longbow becomes a +2 weapon, along with some cosmetic changes. We see the Anger in Waiting perk get a small buff. In addition to the maximum of Fury Charges that you can now have going up 1, being 2 of course, you can also bypass damage resistances with a Furious Shot. So we see a small buff to the way that Fury Charges are used. In addition to this, you get the second perk, which is called the Challenge. As a reaction during combat, you can expend 1 Fury Charge to make a single ranged attack at a creature within range. If this attack hits, the target takes the applicable damage and must succeed on a DC 15 Charisma saving throw. On a failure, the creature has disadvantage on attacks against any creature but you until the start of your next turn. Lastly, in its perfected form, the Patient Longbow becomes a +3 weapon. Anger in Waiting gets its final buff in the form of 1 additional maximum Fury Charge. Now, you've got 3 to play with. In addition to that, the Challenge gets a small buff in the fact that the DC of the Charisma saving throw goes up from 15 to 17. Lastly, the Patient Longbow gets its final perk, Steadfast. Whenever you expend a Fury Charge, you gain the benefits of the dodge action. And that's that for the Patient Longbow. Currently, we don't have awesome art for this awesome item. We do, however, have a link to our Discord server in the description of this video, which you can use to access and send us awesome art. But don't worry, we will never use your art without permission or compensation. So submit away and let's see what you've got. And this has been Bag of Holding. Please like and subscribe, join our Discord server, all of the things. We would love to have you on at any adventures here at Wither and Bloom Studios.
Nope, that totally didn't work.
Okay.
Oh no!
Don't touch me.
Stay away from me.
Super source, keyed.
Eric, what if I
That's
gave you
ready.
one of those like
Here
every
we
year,
go.
and then next year I was in it?
Hey, line. Our mics are.
Hey,
Mics are on. Now he's gonna hit that.
Hey, we're
Okay, we somehow got back from all of that. I don't know how that happened, but number one, thank you all for hanging out and waiting. We're back,
We love
and you
you.
guys have a wagon careening towards you down the northeast trade route, full tilt. Yes.
I want to start off by making a perception check on whether or not they are running at us or away from something.
You don't need a perception check for
Does it
that.
have a
It is
driver?
very clear that they are running directly at you.
Does it have a driver?
No.
Holy shit.
No, wait, wait.
driver.
I don't think you understood what I said, Todd. Are they are they afraid of something?
Repeat what you said. I didn't understand.
Are they like?
Sorry.
Are they running away from something? Does it seem like they're being chased?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the direction of the
No.
wagon. No, they appear. Roll the perception check then.
Oh, you piece. Oh my
That
god.
was almost.
It was an 18
running.
it rolled.
What's
That's
That means it was cocked.
that's 12.
A 12? Okay. It's hard to tell, but given the general sort of urgency of the situation, this doesn't feel like an attack because they came around a bend, right? So this does feel like they might be running from something. That's my guess.
Okay.
Break? Separate?
Thrud pulls her horse over to one side.
Me as well.
Are there any trees on either side of the road that we are on?
On the side of the road that you were on, yes. So you've got multiple trees on the left side, a smattering here and there on the right side.
Thrud would like to go to where the multiple trees are on the one side, and somewhere where there's a tree across the other side. Of the
Okay.
road.
All right. So are you going to try and hide, or are you just stepping off the road?
I'm getting out of the way of the wagon.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna also pull over to the same side as Thrud and kind of like jump up into like a tree and just kind of like hang.
Okay.
I'll go to the opposite side, and I will stand on the saddle of my horse, short sword and scimitar drawn,
Keyword short.
just in
I'm-
case.
Okay.
We'll follow. I almost said Phyla, Electo, to the other side. Similarly, prepare myself, but not standing on my horse.
Can I do a perception check down the road past the wagon? To
Down the
what it
road
might be?
beyond where it came from?
Yeah.
You don't need to. There's not a lot going on. It's basically clear. However, you did just pass a group of travelers, right? So you do know that there are people on the road, and this horse is just full out. Now, it's approaching. It's getting much closer. You can see, number one, the chests of both the horses are worked up into like a lathery froth. They're super sweaty. They're drooling at the mouth, breathing extremely heavy, but not slowing down.
Is it a open wagon, closed wagon?
It looks to be what would be an open wagon, but it is tarped.
Thrud takes out her 50 feet of rope, creates a lasso real quick. As the horses are coming through, she's going to try and grab one of them by the neck.
You're ready.
I clocked this.
And get around the tree.
You're out
to
of your
hold back
mind.
on it. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
I'm gonna take a.
Wait, are you trying to go
I'm
with
trying
them?
to stop these horses because they're clearly runaway. There's no one on the cart. And there's
Okay,
people
I
behind
wanna-
us that
I
are going
wanna-
to get trampled.
Papillon,
I'm gonna kind of like.
the land on the horse.
I want to kind of like match the speed of the wagon and safely land on top.
Flying?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I've got Thrud's call out here first. So, Thrud, you're getting that 50 feet of rope ready very quickly. Into a lasso. I want you to roll we're going to make this into 2 rolls, okay? The second roll will only happen depending on what the first roll decides to do.
Okay.
So I think we need some kind of dexterity check here. I'm going to create a difficulty class for this. They're coming at you. You do have time to plan. Make a dex roll.
It's a 15. No,
16.
16.
I set the DC at 15.
There you go, baby. There you go.
That rope, as it flies from your hand, perfectly loops up and over the head of the closest horse to you. And now you're going to attempt to put this around a tree and stop this team of horses, right?
Yes.
Unhinged.
I'm going to ask you to either make an athletics check or an athletics check. It's got to be an athletics check. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, all right. Come on. Come on, big money. Mama Through doesn't want to go for a ride.
Is there?
Before you do that, I want to write down the DC that I am making this so that...
Wait. I have a proposition.
Okay.
If I cast Mage Hand
No.
across the street to help pull the rope,
Mage Hand can only
it's
carry,
only
like, it's only
5 pounds.
5 pounds.
I
Oh my god.
with minor illusion, create it's a 5-foot cube. Can I create like a 5-foot wall or bush-looking thing in the middle of the
Set the fire. Put the fire in front of the horses.
So, listen, I understand the spirit of this is you want to help Thrud. The reality is this would have happened so fast.
Yeah, Thrud
and honestly,
fucking cares not.
The reaction here, this second roll is really due to the fact that the rope is on the horse. You would not have time. There's like a split second before, in the time it took for the rope to go around the horse and before Thrud gets yanked.
Did you write down your DC yet?
I have it written down. Please
I
go.
honestly...
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh no.
Athletics, right?
Yeah.
I just lost a
It's an
shoulder.
11.
I don't even think I have to show you this number.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
First of all, I want you to know
I'm dragging
you
behind
have
horses.
2 carriage horses at full tilt.
There's
You're a dwarf.
flying past all of you fucking idiots.
23 was my DC on that. Okay.
Girl.
Wait,
23 was my DC on that.
can I land on the fucking cart now?
Well, wait a minute.
No,
Because what
she
happens
needs to
is-
get a little dirt in her.
You see Thrud beautifully and perfectly lasso this horse like it's a craft,
Are you still
right?
on the horse?
That rope effortlessly flies in a perfect loop over that horse's head, lands around it, Thrud wrenches down, knees in position, pulls the rope tight, it just goes like comes whipping around the tree. You are airborne
Oh, yeah.
behind this horse because you wrapped up tight. Like you are holding on like you're gone, right? So away you go. Now you did tell me that you wanted to fly in and land on the horse.
And I have 40-foot movement, so I move faster than normal.
holy shit.
Okay. I will say this: that's not fast enough to catch these horses. However, you would have planned for them coming, so I'm
Yeah.
going to assume that you would have jumped up with the ability to fly in.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you make an animal handling check to see if you can make the landing on the horses because they're horses and...
Wait, there's a cart. I'm trying to land on the cart, not the horses.
Okay.
I wanted to...
Can I ask for an acrobatics check?
Well, how about this? Since you're landing on the cart,
Yeah.
I will assume, given your ability to fly, that you'd be able to land on a moving object, even one that was moving relatively fast. What's the objective once you land on the cart?
Whoa,
to,
Nelly.
to see what's inside the tarped area. To see like if there's a way to like
So
if there's like
Thrud is
if there's a
flying
driver.
through the
If there's
air
a driver.
like a 4-foot missile, like a thick missile. You land on
Skipping
this
like a
cart.
stone.
Is there a way I
And you're
can just
gonna
like
search the cart.
No.
You better sure that shit.
I didn't know if there was a driver like in the tarp just sitting there like fuck.
There's no driver.
I'm gonna yank on the horses and try to stop them.
Animal handling check.
I'm gonna.
We're back to where I started. Yeah.
Well, all of that was happening when I saw.
back to 1.
When I saw.
Oh, now 20! Holy shit! Hang on, can we finish this moment?
Yeah.
Can I finish this moment? 20! All right. So, you do manage to come in, grab the reins of the horse, and very sort of expertly and deftly bring this team. You're pulling them up. It's
Yeah.
hard though, right? Because they're really spooked. Something
Yeah.
you can feel through the reins themselves, the absolute terror, because they fight that bit hard, right? But you do manage to kind of pull them in.
Picture like Spider-Man and like
bastard.
Spider-Man 2 with
Yeah.
the fucking subway.
How many feet of rope did you use?
I used 50.
50.
So,
Your significant distance behind the cart,
yeah, I'm skipping.
you're bouncing down the road.
Dink.
I'm actually going to have you do me a favor and just roll 2d6 for me. So you do manage to bring the cart to a halt. Electo, what did you want to say?
I was
Oh God!
I was prepping for that failing. What I was gonna do was follow on my own horse, prep and entangle to try and entangle the horses. But now that the horses have stopped,
Gotcha.
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Okay.
You just saved those horses.
Branmorn, you were trying to exercise a move before.
Well, I held restraint to see what our newfound bat friend could do. But those horses were gonna die. But he supposedly stopped the wagon.
Okay.
Did I stop it before it hit any people?
You did, actually.
Nice.
Yes, you did.
9.
9, you're going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage
that's what I
from
figured.
the...
Is it from hitting the back of the car?
It's from being dragged all the way down the
yeah.
road. I mean, it was like,
Hey,
Now,
it's
having
like
one of
if you
those
took
swing and
a
a miss
4-foot
kinds of
section
days.
of tree
Yeah.
and tied it to a rope and dragged it behind a horse, what it would look like. That was through.
can I? I see. I just want to kind of take an inventory for a second after all this. Are you okay?
fine. What? Leave me alone.
Okay.
Can't blame a girl for trying.
With that being said, I'll look under the tarp.
You're going to take a look under the tarp?
Yeah.
Okay. So you jump into the back of this wagon, you peel the tarp back, and you find a wagon load of general provisions. All right. So there are several coils of, oddly, rope. You find several crates full of things like shovels, pickaxes, rakes, hoes, different types of farm implements. Okay. There are also rations, right? There are packaged rations in this thing. You find several lanterns. There are packages of torches. So this looks like it was going to a general goods sort of situation. If you want an exact inventory, I can write that down for you.
We have general provisions, foods.
Are there any bandages in there?
Is there any bandages?
There would be a couple of medical kits in
I
there.
have some abrasions. I have abrasions. That's
I can help if you'd like.
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna climb into the back of the wagon.
And later,
Third,
are you okay?
No, I'm just a little dust in my
With
throat.
dust in the throat?
Yes,
Sir, I want to help.
I'm good. Just fine. You've done enough. Thank you for stopping the wagon.
I notice this moment they're having within themselves, and I'm gonna go feed the horses some nectar chips, and give them like a nice pet. I know. I'm so sorry what happened.
I want to. Now that the cart has been stopped, I want to look at the road where it came from. Mm-hmm. I'm curious as to why they were moving.
Yeah,
as
that's
fast
a
as
good
they were.
question.
Okay, so as you begin to sort of unravel this investigation, for lack of a better word, and Papillon, you have been in the back of the cart looking at the different inventory, and Electo, you begin to sort of look around the wagon and then, of course, up the road. You do notice that the one flank, the back hind flank of the horse, has a fairly large gash in it. Okay, so it looks like this horse was either hit in an attack or intentionally possibly set off on this run. Other than that, the road itself is the same road you've been traveling. It is a fairly well-maintained road, occasional pothole, but this cart came from several hundred yards away. It was sort of in your vision. And even though it was moving fast, it's going to be hard for you to sort of investigate that, without really traveling up the road a distance.
Yeah. I mean, we're already going up the road, so.
Yeah.
I think that we set the cart to continue, just less aggressively. Yeah.
You don't want to take it with us?
Well, I don't think that we need it. We have provisions. Maybe this is going to people that need it.
That's a good point.
We know that the group of
Why don't
refugees.
We do this?
Can we just tie the horses to a tree?
Or you could take the horses and go down the street a little bit, hand it off to one of the people we just passed, and fly back up to catch up with us, huh? That way you can explain
Well,
yourself.
I was just going to say the next person that comes down the road, if they're kind of trader-looking person, say, take it along the pills.
We could leave a note.
I like the note. I like the note idea.
I have calligrapher's supplies. I'll write up a little note. These horses and this wagon were moving southbound and fleeing. Take them to Pills. There are people who could use these rations.
Okay. All right, so you tie the rope, you tie the reins of the horses up to the tree, which, for those of you that are experienced with horses, is never really a good practice. You should always attach a separate rope to the bridle and attach it to the tree, but you don't know any better. So you attach the reins to the tree, attach the note to the horses, when you climb back aboard your mounts and begin to head north on the road again.
Yes.
Before Thrud takes onto her mount again, she walks over to the two horses and looks them both very sternly in the eyes. The one that has the gash on its back hindquarters. She looks at it and says, "You were probably the one that was freaked out and casts Cure Wounds for 1 point."
Fair enough, though.
Plus
Yeah, so 4 points.
4 points?
Yeah.
It's the sentiment that counts,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
All right, so you provide a little bit of healing and comfort
Gives
to
her
the
a little
horse.
scruffy on the nose and
Nice.
That was very brave.
jumps back onto the horse, goes
See,
away.
Thrud has these moments of softness. You just need to get to know her.
Here and there.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Den mother.
Yes. Okay.
Thrud kicks her horse and takes off down the road.
All right, so you guys are trotting down the road again. We're getting into the afternoon at this point, and again, the occasional traveler, nothing's changed except for one thing. The smoke itself begins to thicken just a bit. So there's a noticeable change in the quality of the air. And for the first time now, what was once just sort of a mild haze, this has a slight, barely detectable hint of odor to it, of smoke.
Would it be annoying to take another look?
Not at all.
I'm going to take another look.
Okay, so this is about 4 hours past the time you took the first look, right? So you've traveled a pretty good distance up the road. And as you fly up above the smoke canopy this time, you do notice that again, in the same direction, it is now undeniable the smoke is coming from that direction because it is visibly billowing up off the horizon line.
Has it like spread?
Spread is a tough word to discern, right? There's more of it. This could be because you're closer, or this could be because it is in fact spreading. I would say, given the climate and the time of year, it's probably spreading.
And you said this is in the direction that we are going?
Not exactly. The direction you're going is northeast, and this is off to the west. So it has actually gone from being at about 11 o'clock in your vision to being more like 9 o'clock now. It's almost directly to your left.
Okay. I'm going to go back down. The fire is getting worse. It's heavier.
Yeah.
Yes. It's about this way from us now. We're kind of passing it. We're passing it. It's about it's in that direction.
Fucking Shaduk's on fire.
Do you think we should go
messed up.
check it out?
It's up to you. Would you? The thing is, if Fork was attacked, right? They're not going to sit there, right?
No.
They may have moved on to the next city.
So then maybe we should check that out.
Alternatively, if they're attacking wherever this is before the fork,
What?
would the fork be their next stop? Do we check this location and then?
They already went to
Well-
Fork, right?
No, Fork would be next in line from...
If they kept going, if they kept following the road. But that was the thing, was that Haythorn was hit first,
Right,
and then it was Farmhome.
right.
So we may meet them at Fork.
Was that?
Yeah. I remember last session.
Because Farmhome is further northwest than Haythorn.
Yeah.
So if they were coming down,
I have it in my notes that villagers from Haythorn came wandering into Farmhome after Farmhome was attacked, and then the group of them headed toward Pills through the fields and the old farm trails.
That might be flipped.
Based on the map, it seems like, I mean, that could have been happening.
But to your credit, I think it's my fault.
Do you mind if
think
I-
I explained it backwards.
Okay. So should I flip that?
I would flip that
Okay.
because that's not entirely accurate.
hearing
It would have
noise.
been that Farmhome was attacked first, and Haythorn would have been attacked second.
So it is to our left.
Is it the wind?
It's in the music.
Well, he's on Pocket Bard. He could have put the sound on. I'm trying to detect what it is.
I love how you're going so meta. You're talking about the apps I use to play the game. We're beyond metagaming now. It's like,
Crazy.
wait, something's happening because I know he uses Pocket Bard.
Sorry.
This is bad.
I just wanted to hear it.
Pocket Bard is ominous in the in the
I heard
wind.
it's his Pocket Bard.
All right.
We continue?
Look, I believe it makes prudent sense to continue on to the fork. We heard from the gentleman you bought your pots from that these things had happened and that the fork was the next in line potentially. Maybe they cut off and went into Juduk, but let's
Yes.
continue up into... Maybe if we get to the fork before these raiders come in, we can fortify ourselves a bit, huh?
Agreed.
Sounds good.
I think this is a good idea.
Okay. All right, so you travel on for the rest of the second day, and you can easily find a campsite to bed down for the night. And I think maybe for the sake of pushing the narrative forward, we're going to just kind of speed past this nighttime. This would be an uneventful rest this evening.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And throughout the next day, what I'd like you to do for the third and final day, I'm going to have Nathan already rolled. Did Papillon roll? Sorry, Cersei.
I rolled.
Papillon roll.
Yeah.
Bran, would you roll a d20 for us, please?
Oh, fuck. Wrong one.
Just what's on the 20?
Yep.
13.
13? Okay. So you spend the third and final day working your way towards the fork. Now, I would say that the only thing that changes significantly in this travel. One, Papillon, you take your traditional flight up above the smoke line to see if anything's going on. Number one, the smoke has started to dissipate on day 3. And number 2, the source of the smoke has now not only moved further south, but it is almost out of view. Okay? So, whether or not that means the fire's died down, you don't entirely know. The other thing that has changed is you see more and more travelers. These travelers look less and less amicable or like they're having a good day. They seem to be stressed about something. They're head down, they're chattering amongst themselves. They eye the 6 of you with suspicion, sometimes with fear at first. There are a couple of times that some of them look directly at Remy, who has tiefling horns and satyr horns, and has sort of frightened a couple of people. So clearly rumors are beginning to spread.
Would we been able to interact with some of these people?
You could, and if you'd like to, we can do that.
I would
Right.
love to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe one group as they pass, like Circe would sort of make her way to the middle of the road. So like with the rest of the group, maybe more towards the right side. And she'd sort of like slow down, be like, "Excuse me."
Well, there is one family,
Yeah.
right? And the older man who seems to be the patriarch of the family, he seems to have a large wheelbarrow. It's crudely made of wood. It's got a single wooden wheel in it. It's heaped with several sacks of what appear to be possessions. They're burlap sacks. They're tied shut, but he very wearily sort of carries this down the road.
Yeah. I just say, "Excuse me." Hi, how are you? We're traveling up to the fork.
We don't have a lot of time.
I know. One question. What are you escaping from?
Towns are under siege. They're being burned. We have to leave here. It's only a matter of time before the fort gets hit. There's plenty of people, though, that don't seem to think that this is a problem. I've said time and time again that something's coming.
Well,
No one believes me.
we think it's a problem. We're here to do something about it. Please get yourself to safety, and thank you for your input.
Well, all right. When he begins walking on down the road.
Sweet.
Press on?
Press
yes,
on.
press on.
You spend the next 2 hours finishing up the final journey into the Fork. As you approach this town, you have been through here before, Cersei. As you approach this town, the first thing that you notice is that there are high wooden walls built around this town, entirely made of timbers. Okay, so you have a lot of verticality in the timbers that are strapped together. The tops of these timbers are shaved to points. So while that might sound like an aggressive looking thing, it actually has kind of a quaint town feel to it, right? But it seems to be somewhat well protected. Now there is a gate leading in right off the northeast trade road, and the river itself passes along the side of the fork, right? The gate is open right now, but it is heavily watched. There look to be about 12 guards standing, monitoring the traffic that's going in and out of this town carefully. They look to be on edge. And as you approach, a couple of them straighten up and they begin to close the gap to the doorway, because most of the people are traveling out of this gate. You're one of almost nobody traveling in.
Right.
And as they close in on you, one of them is like, "You there, state your business."
We're here from Pills. The mayor sent us. We're here to help.
What word from Pills? Have they been under attack?
No, roughly 200 or so refugees from Farmholm and Haythorn have made their home in Pills.
The one guard turns to the other one and nods, and he's like, "Good, they're safe."
Not for long.
No.
What do you know? Is there anything coming to you yet?
What mission are you on from Pills? What have they sent you to do?
Send word that currently your town is safe.
So far, we are safe. So far, nothing has attempted to breach these walls. If we have our way, we'll maintain that. The gate closes every night at 6 and doesn't open again until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We sealed the town off. No traffic in or out. There's a curfew as well. Anyone seen on the street after 9 p.m. will be arrested. Is that clear?
Yes.
Crystal.
All right.
That's fucking bullshit.
If for some reason there is an attack, can we call on you for assistance? If you're on this mission, we feel like we need as many bodies as we can get.
We'll be there.
In a heartbeat.
Well,
It's past 9 o'clock.
What if we want to be out past 9? I mean, you're asking us to help you. Maybe we don't go to sleep so early, huh?
listen.
Roll a persuasion check.
Guidance.
So charismatic. There it is.
Persuasion?
Is it negative?
No, it's good. And you gave me guidance?
Yeah.
That is 22.
What is it?
22.
At first, when you start talking, this guard is just like... and then you kind of go, yeah, you want us to fight for you? Maybe there's... And he kind of like shakes his head and he's just like, look, it's been a very long day. And while I appreciate what may or may not be humor, maybe you should just get inside, find a beer, and take a load off. Because the patience of these gentlemen here is relatively thin.
So have you had encounters recently? What has made your day so long? What has made everyone's patience wire so thin?
Look, there are a lot of rumors, and there's also a lot of proof that several towns are burning. And we are sitting directly in the sights of all of those towns. We feel like it's inevitable. We don't know what's going on entirely, but whatever numbers seem to be descending on these towns, they don't seem to deplete. So yeah, it's stressful. We've called on North Veritas to send troops. We've heard that they're coming. We still don't have it. The guards in this town are 38 strong at this point. That's what we have. That's not going to be enough. The 6 of you, that significantly increases our odds as far as I'm concerned. Okay?
Let me ask you this. There's a significant amount of timber surrounding your town.
There is.
Fire has been a consistent element in these attacks. Do you have any kind of suppression built into utilizing the river that is alongside you?
This is not something we've planned for.
Maybe it's something we should.
Okay, if you have ideas, I would be happy to entertain them. As a matter of fact, once you get inside the walls, there are 2 magistrates. You can find them in the center of town. You can talk to them. If you can track the mayor down in all of this, you can talk to them too. But right now, I've got a job to do, so...
Druid goes inside.
As do I.
As do I.
I'll follow, but Circe's gonna quickly collect everybody. Like, listen, our primary objective is, yes, this is a stop on our way. We can give some help, but we need to go to Farmholm and Haythorn, see if they're safe to return to. Now, we can set some sort of thing up so that if we see forces coming this way, as we go towards Farmholm and Haythorn, we can send word back. As long as I become familiar with one person of authority with here, I can send a message to them from any distance. But we do have a primary objective given to us by Belladonna.
Then let's make some friends.
I think one night here, not even. Just one night. And we go in the morning.
What if I try and locate some form of marching enemies to see which direction they are going?
That'll be a good use of time. If that's something that's of interest to you.
Yeah, I'm quiet. I go at night and I scour the skies.
Okay. Just really, really be careful. Stick to the roads.
It's just if we know
Fly
where
with
they
the
are
roads.
going, then I would feel comfortable leaving these people.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, at least if you want to check out the other routes,
Yes.
like the ones that go more north, if you check that out for a bit, come back, then we'd be more comfortable traveling west
I'll check both out.
towards the other towards towns.
Yes, I got you.
Question. I'm looking at this map. How long do you think the travel between the Fork and Haythorn is?
Travel between the Fork and
Because if
Haythorn.
Hills to the Fork was 3 days.
You're looking at another at least 2 days travel by horseback.
Okay.
When you're done, can I see that map?
This?
That one.
Oh yeah, my bad.
All you
Can't see
do
this
is
one.
Let me see that map, man. Let me get a peek.
This is all of Emberfell.
So we're at the Fork. I would like. Can I set my route with you that I'm going to fly tonight?
Yes, I would love that.
I'm going to fly up the Harvest Road
Papillon's going to be on his camp.
to Farmholm.
No, you're not.
Why?
You know, far away is 2
Because
days.
that's over 5 days travel on horseback.
Okay, never mind. Then can I do some sort of big outward 180 degree angle search from the Harvest Road to the northeast trade route? Can I do a big swoop of that.
I think, why don't you tell me this? How much time do you want to spend doing this? And then I can determine the radius that you'd be
Okay.
able to cover and what might be going on.
And if you
Yeah.
go high enough, you might be able to see like
Further.
campfires from settling. at
Yes, I'm looking for all the signs of life, signs of like a raiding army, you know, some sort of violence. I'm gonna give it a couple hours.
Okay.
I would say I would stay out middle of the night. Maybe
Okay.
At least like start with like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay. That sounds good. So you take off and you sort of begin to maybe run concentric rings around the fork
Yeah.
that radiate outward
Yes.
in your search. All right, great. So you're up there doing that.
Yes.
What are the rest of you doing?
Tavern.
I'm gonna look for those magistrates.
I
Okay.
would like to do the same.
Okay.
I'll follow your lead.
The wall that is closest to the river of the. Like, is there an ability to walk the top of the wall, or is
Yeah,
it?
in certain spots there is. Yes. Along the river, though, unfortunately, there really isn't. A lot of the wall structure faces land where an attack would be likely to come from. The river functions as kind of an element of fortitude. So,
And how far is the river from the wall?
30 feet, 40 feet, it's relatively close.
Okay. Through to surveying all of this.
I'm looking for something right now. Please give me a second.
Let him cook.
Got it. Got it. Working on something. All right. So you're going to look for the magistrates?
Yeah.
All right. So as you enter the town and you sort of make your way into the center of town, the reason the town is called the Fork all of a sudden becomes evident because the northeast trade route in the center of this town splits into a perfect fork. Northeast trade route continuing to the right and the harvest road continuing to the left. And this almost seems to sit dead center in the town. Also, at this point where the roads converge, there is a very, very large center open sort of circle, like a town square, but in this case it's perfectly round. And there are dozens of different kiosks and carts and trade wagons that sort of park there and set up in row after row after row where you can go shopping. You can buy things. Around that area, on the perimeter, off to the sides of the roads, are a variety of establishments. Okay, so the one thing you do notice right off the bat is the Lucky Coin, which is the establishment that Eldridge had mentioned. So you do see that, and standing out on the front porch of the Lucky Coin are a bunch of people that seem to be not really concerned about the impending doom. They seem to be well intoxicated and having a decent time. And people come in and out of this establishment a fair bit. Okay? So you're still looking for the magistrate. And after asking a few questions, you are able to find one of the center city halls.
Huge.
And so that is the direction that people are sort of leading you to.
Yeah. I'll kind of clap up in the general area. Are there any people that look official?
Yes. So as you walk inside of this building, there seem to be like a very small crowd of people, 7 or 8 people sort of gathering. One guy is currently shouting, and he's like holding what appear to be some papers above his head, and he's shouting, and he says, I need exit from this city tonight after curfew. I haven't had a chance to get my family together, but we want to head south. I need permission to leave now. And the magistrates are standing there, and they're just kind of like, all right, I need everybody to stay calm. We're doing the best we can. Opening the gates after hours is not advisable. I understand that you want to leave this city, but I have to think about everyone in this city. You walk in amongst all of this chatter as it's going on. What do you want to do?
I want to cast calm emotions on the entire crowd.
Oh, okay. There's only 10 people here, so it's a small size crowd. With calm emotions, that's automatic, right?
A long way to run.
It's a charisma save, but they can choose to fail the throw if they wish.
Charisma save.
Yeah.
I'll roll for the whole group 3.
24
Nice.
radius.
So that's going to work.
Awesome.
So all of a sudden, the tenor of the room just sort of like simmers down a little bit, almost
Good.
as if everyone takes a breath as you cast calm emotions over the group.
Nice.
Now, Thrud, Brandmorn, are you with them? Or have you said you were going off to the tavern, right?
That's what I wanted to do. Thrud was looking at the river. I don't know.
Okay.
It just seems to me prudent that we see fire, and this is a building, a town surrounded by wood. That's a lot of fuel.
You did pass one establishment called the Moonlit Mare. The Moonlit Mare sits almost directly across the street from the Lucky Coin. So that place seems to have, a little bit of bar action going on inside of it. There's lights coming from inside. There's a warm glow. Seems like a decent place to get a meal. There's fairly well attended.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're going to go look at the river, I'm going to go hang out in this Moonlit Mare.
I'll meet you there soon.
Okay. I'll let you know how it is when you get back. I'm going to go in.
Okay.
Is there a lot of people in here?
There's probably about a dozen and a half people in this place. They all seem to be talking amongst themselves quietly, a little bit of nervous chatter, not a lot of loud barroom, type talk in this place.
Are there seats at the bar, or is it just tables?
No,
or?
there's tables and the bar. There's a few seats at the bar if you wanted to sidle up.
I'm gonna slide up. Slide up to the bar.
All right. As you're sidling up to the bar, older man comes out, looks at you and says, "Welcome, traveler. I'll be with you in a moment. Old Thomas is the name. Give me a shout if you need me."
Take your time, Thomas.
Back over to you two.
Brandmorn's chill
So
as
you're
fuck.
here with the magistrates. What is it you want to...
Hello.
Just looking to get a drink.
Can I do for you? It's
It's
a busy time right now.
not exactly what you can do for us, but what rather we can do for you. See, the two of us at least are with a group of 6 individuals. We're here from Pils.
On a mission from the mayor, Belladonna. Refugees.
Belladonna.
Yes.
Excellent.
She's recruited us personally to do some work.
Fantastic.
Right now, we are tasked with surveying the 2 towns, Haythorn and Farmholm, to see if they're safe to return to. But I understand that your town is very stressed about the possibility of becoming under attack. While we're here, is there anything that we could do to help you?
We had 2 scouts return today from that very journey. We sent them up to Farmholm and Haythorn 3 days ago on horseback to check things out. They got as far as Haythorn and turned around and came right back.
Yeah.
They said the situation up there is dire. Now, they didn't report on Farmholm, but Haythorn has been mostly destroyed.
So that can't be returned to whatsoever.
I would say that would not be wise at all. There's also been activity about in the evening hours. People, travelers that have been trying to escape have reported being accosted. They've been attacked. Some have been killed.
Trying to escape Haythorn?
Trying to get out of Haythorn and get south.
Fuck. Ow.
So the attackers are still there.
No. Apparently the town is empty. These are attackers that have been on the road, either ambushing or attacking at night from the woods. I can't put my finger on where they're gathering. We've got scouts out looking, but we have not been able to discern a central location for them at this point.
Interesting.
Roll
Well-
a perception check for me.
Seeing as That's the unfortunate case for both of those towns. Would you trust that that is good information for us to report to Belladonna, and that we should not waste further time traveling to confirm for ourselves? That's days of travel where we could instead be here helping you.
I would say you could be here helping. We could send a raven to Belladonna with the information that you've requested and sign that from you.
No worries. I have a sending stone to be in contact with her.
You can communicate with her.
Yes.
Well, then let's do that.
Yes.
If I can keep you here, you actually increase my forces by a significant amount while we wait for backup troops from North Veritas.
Yes.
You don't know us.
You're not there.
I know.
I will send her a message as soon as we are done speaking. I'm limited to only so many words. So, in one message. So I'll have to plan and be concise, but with the information you and your scouts have gathered, it's probably safe to assume that we'll be here to help. We'll just have to confirm with the rest of our party.
Is there anything that you would know about these attacks that maybe we don't?
Well, from what I know, in both Farmholm and Shaduk, 5-6 dozen attackers.
Shaduk was hit as well?
Not Shaduk, sorry. You guys said Shaduk before.
Is that a Freudian slip?
Farmholm.
Yeah, he's letting us know.
So much Shaduk.
Shaduk is dead.
Not
I'm in
Shaduk.
Shaduk, kind of.
I kind of fuck with Shaduk.
Farmholm and Haythorn were hit by 5 to 6 dozen of these bandits all at once in a wave. They just came in full on, full force, screaming, burning fires, and attacking villagers as fast as they could. It was some of the most furious attacks we have ever seen. Emberfell's a peaceful continent. We don't see things like this. Now, of course, we know that there have been tensions building. The Afari people we think might be behind this to some degree. We have been speculating that for quite some time. So while we don't have any proof of that, it is on our minds. Now, the question I have for you is, if you've been experiencing this, do you know things that maybe we don't know?
Does the phrase Nex Cornu mean anything to you?
Absolutely. We've heard that over and over again, that these bandits, whoever they are, these attackers, are screaming this phrase, Nex Cornu. Now, we haven't really been able to, in all of our questioning, find anyone who really has any connection to this. A lot of speculation, a lot of fear. Some people believe that they worship the underworld, but I can't necessarily say 100% for sure.
I see. Oh.
I'm going to flip back over for a second to Branmorn, who is sitting in the moonlit mare. Old Thomas comes over to you and sees you, and he's like, you got in the gates just in time, it looks like. I haven't seen you before.
No, we came from Pills. We've been on the road for a few days.
So you're headed north. Not something many people are doing right now.
No, actually, the mayor in Pills, we were just peacefully minding our own business in town, and like hundreds of people came into town. I guess the towns up the road got burned down, attacked.
Yeah, many died from what I understand.
And now we're supposed to go check it out.
Okay.
So you're in the middle here.
Well, I will tell you this. At the Moonlit Mare, we specialize in a good night's sleep, for sure. Are you weary? Are you worn out? Do you sleep well in a foreign establishment? Usually not, right? Not your own bed from home. Although if you've been on the road, you're probably sleeping with a rock in your back.
2 nights.
He reaches under the counter and he pulls out a small flask. The liquid inside is blue and it's corked on top with a little wax dripped over the top. And he puts it down. And he's like, now we can sell you a room. And you can stay in a room for a gold piece a night. But for an extra gold piece a night, I can hook you up with this little elixir. Helps you sleep. You wake up clear and fresh.
You're gonna drink the blue juice, aren't you? Blue Adib? What?
You know I'm drinking blue juice. I mean, I'm intrigued.
Thrud, where are you?
Oh, Thomas.
Thrud is.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Shut up.
Thrud was surveying the outer laying areas of the town. How far was the magistrates from? Like, she split,
The center hall for the town is actually just off the center square.
and in relation to where the was it the Blue Moon or the
Moonlit Mare.
The Moonlit Mare.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are actually all within probably 50 yards of one another in various locations right around the center of town.
Sick.
Thrud is going to go into the borough hall, meet up with them and see that they are talking to some elevated people and say, your fortifications are shit, and if they light one fire on this place, it's only going up like a tinderbox. Do you not think maybe utilize some of the river to perhaps keep your wood wet at least?
I'm sorry, but who are you?
I'm with them.
This is one of our party members.
Odd that you seem to have your head on so straight to be traveling with... Did I catch your name?
My name is Thrud, and I can see right away that you are not ready for these impending fires that are coming in. Everybody knows that things have been burning, right? You've got wood surrounding your entire town. You're right here next to a river, yet I see no waterways. I see no means of making a bucket brigade even to get the fire out
I
if that
would
happens.
suggest taking her input.
Look,
Here's the thing.
dwarf. Might I remind you of your own culture that tends to utilize the most available resource through which to build your own fortifications, which in your case I'm going to guess is stone or possibly metal. Well, if you look around you, you'll notice that you happen to be on the edge of a forest.
Yes, of
And no surprise that our fortifications happen to use our own available resources. But I really
I'm
do
not criticizing your
appreciate-
building. I'm not criticizing the fact that you've used what is here.
So what would
the-
you have had us done?
I would say
Madam
maybe
Thrud?
have an aqueduct or something that, some way that you could be preparing to utilize the river.
I see.
That
I
is
see.
all. But
well,
you know,
I'll
in
tell
my
you
help,
what,
I'll go over
the
and hang out
next
somewhere
time
else.
we're at peace and I'm in the middle of a town meeting talking about how to potentially deal with elements of trade and the thousands of traders that come through the fork on a regular basis, I will bring up the possibility of building your aqueduct.
Excuse me for a moment.
Thrud walks out.
Thrud. Thrud.
No, they don't need my help,
Yes,
apparently.
they do. Yes, they do.
Where's the
They are-
bar?
They are pissy people.
Here's the. I'm gonna look to the magistrate. Thrud has a
to the right
brilliant
spot.
engineering mind, but she has a bit of a temper. We've had a long ride, and it's very stressful. There's a lot of things going on. Please,
Listen,
little
I
creepers.
don't...
Let it burn! As she walks out the door.
That's so funny.
Look, I appreciate your help and I welcome your help, but you must understand that I have been dealing with people screaming at me all day long.
Yes.
All right? So, it is what it is. We deal with people that yell at us in the best way we know how. You seem to be cooperative, however, and so we will take your help if you're willing to give
Yes.
it.
I will insist that you allow Thrud to propose some sort of plan to prepare for fire.
If Thrud would like to prepare for fire, then Thrud may prepare for fire.
That might be the thing that saves your town.
Maybe.
Now, with that having been said, I think I know what I need to say to Belladonna. I'm going to step out briefly and send that message.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. And in the meantime, I'm looking to put together another scouting party in the morning to check out the surrounding area to see if we can locate somehow their resources and where they're camped out. That's
Well-
got to be priority one.
Hopefully by the morning, one of our other allies will have some information on that.
Fantastic.
His name is Papillon, and his appearance can be unnerving, but he has a good heart.
Yes.
Good looking.
Good to
It's just
know.
got fangs and wings.
I don't judge.
Yeah, tell your guard not to attack a bat-looking creature. That's
Yes.
him. He's an ally. That's very important.
He turns to the other magistrate and he says, "Can you get that word out there before they shoot his friend out of the sky?"
I'd like to join this scouting party.
Fantastic. We're going to be assembling them at 6 a.m. First light, you'll be riding off. We're going to put together at least 10. So if your party would like to join them, or if you'd like to go on your own with them, there'll be several well-armed guards that are going to be going out and looking.
Where are they meeting?
They'll be meeting at the north gate on the Harvest Road. So far, we believe that the party, wherever it is that they are camped out, is something north of the Harvest Road, but we haven't been able to pinpoint it yet. It's a vast region of a lot of unexplored space up there, so it's hard.
Very well.
You'll be off the road and heading north.
6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
I'll be there at 5.
Fantastic.
Do I see anything?
You rolled a 22 on your perception check. And before I get to that, because I do want to tell you how that goes, I just want to go back over to the Moonlit Mare for a minute. You've been presented with a wonderful elixir that's going to give you a very good night's rest. Meanwhile, you've picked yourself up a nice drink at the bar from old Thomas. And is this the place you're going to stay?
I mean, well, Thomas, we are a group of 6. Do you have enough accommodation for 6?
Of course I can. I got plenty of room upstairs. Everybody's been leaving the town, so I got nobody staying here.
Well, you might have some people staying here tonight.
Fantastic. It would be nice to get some coin. Do you think they want to have a little help with their sleep? Now, I'm not going to lie. If they drink that, they're getting 8 solid hours. It's not going to be easy to get them up.
Fuck it.
We're going to have to discuss the elixir.
I'll tell you what. How many did you say there were?
6.
6 of you? I'll put 6 elixirs out. I'll only charge you for what you drink.
Okay.
Seem fair?
Yeah, that's fair. Some of us might not want to get that deep of a sleep. But we'll see.
Sounds fair.
It would be nice. We've been on the road for a couple of days.
All right. You enjoy your beer. I've got a few customers to take care of, and when your friends show up, we'll get you hooked up with keys and we'll get you a room.
Okay.
Fantastic. All right. Papillon is circling over. Nice. I like the flight there. That's beautiful.
I'm so scared.
But you've been circling over for quite some time.
Yeah.
Right? Several hours go by, and you've been making progressively larger and larger
Would 2
rings.
sessions be a record for you?
Shut up. I'll kill you.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
My God.
Todd did say on the last podcast, if you separate from the party, he will kill you.
Unless it's for a good reason.
All right. So, you are circling in the night sky. Now, one thing to your disadvantage is there is still a low-hanging haze from all of the smoke that has been coming in from the west, right?
Would it be okay to kind of like...
Yeah, you're moving about to kind of give yourself the best vantage point you can. You are a good distance. The lights of the fork are no longer in your vision at all. You have circled out a really good distance in this flight, and you're a pretty good clip north of the fork, okay? And something catches your eye. Your perception roll gives you a sort of glimpse of what almost appears to be an orangish glow from the ground about 2 miles north of where you are. Most of what is below you, from what you can tell in the dark, is open field with the occasional patch of trees, which is a lot of what this land consists of. And so you turn north towards that light.
Am I going towards Eldergrove or the Harvest Road or Haythorn?
You are moving towards Eldergrove.
Okay.
Okay.
And how far from Fork am I? You said a couple miles.
How far from the fork are you?
Yeah.
You're quite a distance. You're probably 10 miles out now, at least. you turn towards this light. And from the bottom from down below on the ground, you can sort of begin to now make out 2, 3, 4 of these firelights that are down there. You can sort of see shadows moving on the ground. And then you hear it. There's this drumming. Emanating from down below. At first you think it's wind passing by you because it's got like this kind of gusting sound to it. But you realize that it's drums. Not 5, not 10, but maybe 100. And they're all drumming at once. And you can hear it echoing up into the night air.
Are they marching or is it stationary?
No, these seem to be encampments. And as you get in closer, you can see them. There are people on the ground. Humanoid figures.
With horns?
You can't see that close. You're not that close. Would you like to get that close?
No, I'm okay.
Thank fuck.
I'm looking for...
Go ahead.
No,
What you're seeing appear to be clusters and masses of figures moving together, not close enough to make out any detail. But potentially, with the 22 perception roll, to make out numbers. There's at least 1,000.
1,000?
At least. This is huge. And so your whole body tingles with a kind of fear.
Yeah.
And you turn tail and head back towards
Did I notice
the fort.
any like larger any larger enemies in their like party? Are there like ogres they've gotten on their side, dragons? Is there like any type of that, or is it just to seem to be humanoid people?
From where you are, it's hard to make that out because number one, it is dark. A lot of what you're seeing down below is clustered and silhouetted against the fire, right? So I'm going to say you can't really tell yet.
Okay. I'm scared.
You are. This is a lot bigger than you thought.
And do I get the sense they're marching south towards Fort?
No, these are encampments. Nobody's marching. They're all in one location. Now, do these encampments look like they're mobile? Like they could be picked up and moved?
Yeah.
Also hard to tell, but this does not seem like it's normal. This does not seem like it's been there for a long period of time. You didn't happen upon a village. An encampment is something that has sprung up
Yeah.
and can easily be taken down.
I'm just interested in how they're doing this, right? Like, what direction are they moving in?
This is not information that you have yet. But
And this is far away from that fire that I saw earlier?
Oh, you're not even close to that fire anymore. That fire you left to the south, that's to the southwest now, off in the distance. What you have found here, you see campfires burning. Campfires of this very large encampment. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Ah, shit.
Balls!
Motherfucker.
And I can't spot a horn?
Do it. Fly closer.
You're flying, let's put it this way, for you to remain safe in the sky over this group and not be seen, you're over 100 feet in the air. Okay, it is dark. The only light you have is shining up at you, which kind of like messes with your vision a little bit. You are able to see in the flickering shadows large groups of people.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
That's what I'm giving you.
Oh, it may be the army. The helpful army.
You're above, aren't you? You're towards Elderglove.
Yeah.
North Veritas is out.
All right, everybody. That is where we are going to wrap it up for tonight.
Shoot.
Okay, so make sure our next session is 2 weeks away. That's going to be the third Tuesday in February, and we are going to be starting at 6:30 p.m. So from all of us, this was awesome tonight.
This is a great night.
Right.
Yeah, this was fun as
Thank
fuck.
you all for watching. We really appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. One last thing to plug here. 2 things to plug, actually. Let me tell you about 2 things. One, our music is provided by Pocket Bard. We love Pocket Bard, the app, and if you guys are TTRPG players out there, also Pocket Bard doesn't do anything for us. We do this just because we love the app. It's awesome. Cool sliders and different scenes that you can select. So check them out. It's pretty awesome.
Well worth it.
Yeah, definitely well worth it. And 2, starting at the end of February, right around February 25th, which will be the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month, we are going to be introducing a new live stream that we do called The Pit. It's all arena fights with minis, and we are going to be busting it out. You guys are going to be having great battles.
All right, yeah.
I think it's going to be really a lot of fun. Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's also located in Atania, correct?
It is. So
Yeah.
the pit itself, as a fighting ring, is located in Haven's Reach, Emberfell. But that's an area that none of you guys have actually explored. We're just kind of sidelining for a little while.
Hell yeah.
Cute.
All right. Well, listen, this was great. We thank you all for coming, and we will see you in 2 weeks. All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.